Right. It's at the top of my head. Ugh. Right, hello and good evening. We are just waiting for iRacing to let us in the session. Should be in a couple of seconds. There we go. There we go. Right. Cool. So just waiting for iRacing to load. Bear with me just a few moments. Slurpy slurp. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, this is slowly loading. Come on. Get it done. People waiting, things to do, etc. 3 people waiting apparently. Come on. You can do it. Oh, so slow. Why is it so slow? Come on. Right, now it's pulled its finger out. There we go. There we go. Little bar surging across the screen. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. By the time this loads, the race will be over and it's 3 hours long. %. The tension. It's unbearable. Four people. This is all right. Here we go. Hooray, hooray. We have pictures, we have sound. Great. Great, 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 great. So. So let me just... I'll leave my chat as it is. Right, so hello. 4 people. Nice to see you. Welcome to iRacing. So, oh, Tom's in. That's good. So this is the VRS GT Endurance. This is a 3-hour race. It's a team event. GT3 cars, Spa-Francorchamps. Did this a few weeks ago with Jason and Max in the Ferrari. That was at Silverstone. Trying to remember now where I crashed. But here we are at Spa, and tonight I've got Tom Cherrington and Brett Etherington, both GTUK community members. Look at that already, nearly 300 teams. That's good. Dropped frames. Come on. You can do it, computer. Let me find Tom. You there, Tom? Right, so Brett's in and Tom's in. I don't know why this stream is dropping frames so much. It should be able to cope. If all else fails, it's not a big issue if the stream is pretty crappy. It's not like I do it for a living. You there, Brett and Tom? Same message to Brett. Right, so we just put a message out to Brett and Tom to see if see the chat. There we go.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh. Hello. Good.
Have we heard anything from Tom yet?
Tom's connected. I've just sent him a message that I sent you, so hopefully we'll hear from him shortly.
Lovely.
Do you want to go out? Get a bit of track time?
Yeah, I'll jump in the car for a little bit.
Oh. Cool. Okay, pop out and then I'll tell you when to pop back in and do a driver change practice. Right. Oh, there's Tom. Come on, Tom, speak. Speak. You showed up, but I didn't hear anything. Oh, it's really, really, really quiet.
What about now?
Oh, still really quiet.
Matt, are you able to change the setup that's currently on the car?
Oh. Yeah, if you go into setup, on the top right corner of the screen, you'll see a little checkbox that says tick to change or edit setup. Why isn't it? Excellent connection. So why is it just spinning like that? It's got to be an OBS thing. Right, are you there, Tom?
Yeah, I'm here, mate.
Right, if you move the black box left or right button, if you just move that, you should see your black box appear on the screen, and above it, it'll say click to become crew chief.
Yeah, see that?
Okay, so, oh, hello, good spin. Hold your brakes, you cretin! Oh, hold your brakes, dude. Although, what I will say is a lot of times when you see a car spin, it will go backwards. As soon as it gets its rear wheels round, it's just going to continue going backwards. So it seems counterproductive, but I always tend to go towards the front of the car. I think you'll need to just press escape and bring the car back in there. There we go. Right, now while we're here, oops, he's going out again quickly. But when Brett came in there, while he was stationary in the pits, we could see, me and Tom, we could see remove driver, where it says, well, it probably says practice now. But when there's a driver in the car, the yellow bar will say remove driver. We don't need to touch that. When the driver comes into the pits, all you need to do to get out the car is just to press the escape button or the whatever button you've binded to get out of car if it's on the track. But if all else fails, we can just pull you out of the car.
Yep, cool, got it.
So yeah, the how to become crew chief during the race. So when we get near the end of the stint, we'll have to add the full fuel load, make sure that the windscreen tear off is ticked and all 4 tyres are going to be changed. So you just need to call up the black box, click on where it says click to become crew chief, then go through, make all the changes, and then click to unbecome crew chief in case somebody else needs to go on. So if you sort of go out in the car for your stint and you haven't unchecked the click to become crew chief, you're going to have to do the pit stop request yourself. So it's always important if you're doing it for someone else, you need to remember to unclick so the click to become crew chief is available for everyone. But it's easy.
Yeah, makes sense.
Right. So yeah. So Brett's going out. If you do a lap, then Brett, and when you come back, come into the pits, stop in the pit box, and then if you hold down the escape button to get out, and then Tom can get in and then drive off.
Sounds good.
Yeah, no problem. I'm just going to take off the place tyres.
Right. Now at the moment I'm not sure if the stream is still going. If it's not going, I've got 3 people shown now. See, I never really stream. I always have a little bit of problem with OBS. It just has a real issue sometimes. I've probably got it on the wrong settings, but as I'm not a streamer, you know, I don't really play around with the settings too much. So if you are in the chat and you can hear me and you can see us, then feel free to just type something, anything, just so that we know you're still there, because I've got my chat on a separate screen. I'm hoping it updates in real time. Right, so it looks like Alan is still there. Right. Let's see if we get the hang of this driver change thing properly. So he pulls in. He's going to refuel. Out he comes.
There we go.
Yeah, that was easy. I mean, at the moment it's just refueling, but once it's refueled, should be good to go. So the yeah, so the driver change is really straightforward, basically. Where's my phone? There's my phone. What I'm gonna do now. Brett, you were going to go second. So what I'm going to do, Brett, is I'm just going to type a message into my Twitter, and that if my game disconnects while we're doing like the formation bit, I'll quickly send you a message so that you can sort of get the car towed to pit and then jump in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's perfect sense.
Right. Brett. Okay.
Do you mind if I do a lap behind this Ferrari and just see how we are in traffic?
Yeah. Yep, not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. Right, so we've got 5, it appears, in chat at the moment, or in the stream. Hopefully you can... Oh. Hopefully you can see something. I'm not sure how smooth it is, but type anything in. If you're watching. So I can see a message from Alan. So evening, Alan. If you're still here. And we have got 9 minutes until the race session goes live, and we are allocated our race server, at which point I'm going to take over. So I'll be doing the qualification, I'll be doing the first stint, then Brett is going to do the second stint, and then Tom is going to finish off with the third stint. Hello, Alan. Yes, hopefully you can see something. I haven't got my stream on a screen, but yeah, hopefully you can. If you're there, Alan, and you can hear me and you can see me, can you just say if you can see the game and if you can hear my voice, etc., that would be awesome if anybody could do that, 'cause it says 7 now. I mean, God, this is the giddy heights. Baz, how are you doing, buddy? Thanks for dropping by to watch. I have no idea what it looks like at your end. As I say, I'm not a streamer. I don't know if I've got the right settings enabled on OBS. Probably not. But it is what it is. I thought I'd just click stream so that if anybody was at a loose end tonight, just wanted to drop in and either watch us race around a track or sit in the pits getting repairs, then they're in the right place. 501 teams at the moment. That is pretty insane. Obviously people like to drive GT3s at Spa, so that's 60 teams. That's about 9-10 splits. This is pretty good. All good. Thank you, Alan. Thank you very much, buddy. Oh, here he comes. So another driver change practice. Can never have too many driver change practices and pit entries. Let's get rid of my crew chief takeover box. That's good. Stream works fine. Thank you, Cohen. That's nice to see you as well. This is very strange feeling, not being somebody who streams. Okay-ish. Yeah, nice, Baz. Hope you've all had a really good day. I've had an Assetto Corsa Competizione day. Just a reminder, guys. When the screen starts flashing race, you just click on that as normal to get us into the race server. As you can see, it's 512 teams, so this is really good. Yeah, I had an Assetto Corsa Competizione day today. I mean, Jason,
that is a lot of teams.
That's good. Hopefully we get a fairly kind split. So yes, Jace obviously streamed it on, when was it, Thursday? And hi Jordan. Jace streamed ACC on Thursday, and I went in the same race and inadvertently took him out. And then he got taken out a second time, actually, by a BMW. Came around the corner like an absolute missile. I was watching the replay back after the stream had finished. And, yeah, I mean, our touch was really slight, but the guy who came around the corner like a missile just absolutely T-boned him. But there's a new-ish competition system for Assetto Corsa Competizione called Low Fuel Motorsport. And it's where everybody wants to be at the moment, because it does have a very iRacing feel to it. You get an individual license unique to that competition, and you can work your way through the licenses. And the better license you've got, the better quality of races you can enter. And you also get like a safety rating. So it's very similar to iRacing in terms of how you progress. So the only thing is, as Jace found out on Friday, you need to have a safety rating minimum of 80 to even get into the qualification server. Now, to enable to race on the low fuel motorsport servers, you've got to have a low fuel motorsport license, and to get that, you need to go into the qualification server, and you've got to get around. At the moment, it's Zandvoort. You've got to get around it in a specific time. The lap record is 135, and you've got to get around it in under 139.2, and actually that's quite tricky. It took me about 5 hours spread over 4 days to finally crack it, but I've done a few races in that. I've got 2 more races to go before I come out of rookie and go into what's known as iron class, and then it goes through, I think, iron, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, something else, and then alien. Evening, Jason. That's for anybody watching. Simrig Racer is also called Jason, so not at all confusing. Yeah, well, you did all right earlier in the Lambo.
I'll head back into the pits at the end of the start.
I tuned in for the last couple of seconds. Okay, no worries. I literally tuned in and saw you entering the bus stop for the last time. You made up a place then, so that was all right. Right, the drop frames seem to have levelled off. You see, the thing for me with OBS, for some, it's the same when I record my videos. I need to have OBS on the top, if I have iRacing on the top and OBS on the back, in fact this happens for John Vorter as well, Vorter Racing I've noticed, if OBS isn't on the top, it goes really, it's like 20-30 frames a second, it's really unwatchable. So at certain times tonight where I'm interacting with the game, I need to take OBS, so you're going to get a bit stuttery for a few seconds, but then it will come back as flush. Again, I don't know about settings for OBS, I've no idea what the best or most efficient are. I've probably got it on something which is asking way too much of it, but we'll just see how we go. It's just something that maybe people might fancy watching on a Saturday evening. Future races, the next 2 weeks is a bit rubbish. Next week is Detroit Belle Isle, which is a real... oh, that's okay. That's a decent finish, though. So you made up a place at the end, so you obviously recovered your losses, so that's not a bad outing there, Jace. So the next week is Detroit Belle Isle, which is a terrible course for GT3s because it's walled in, it's a street circuit, a little bit like Long Beach. So a lot of iRating is going to be donated by people next week. The week after that is Bathurst. Again, lots of walls, very difficult. And the reason it's Bathurst is because they've got the Bathurst 12 hours on iRacing at the end of the week. So they always, every time they've got a special event, they always have a week that you can practice at the track on the relevant car. But the week after that is Watkins Glen. So I imagine possibly the next endurance one of these we might be doing, whether it's here with me or whether it's with Jason under the GTUK banner, it will probably be in Watkins Glen in about 3 weeks, because he's got his birthday coming up as well, so he may not be about. But maybe if he's not around, we'll try and do another one of these with Brett and Tom. Right, so we are almost ready to go. Yeah, we are.
Mic off. Mic on.
Right, so how are we feeling?
Yeah, feeling good. Looking at the pace of the others, we get a decent split, we might be right.
Cool. So, yep, 539 teams, nearly 1,000 drivers. That's going to be good. So as long as we can stay out of trouble, could be good. Cam looks not perfect. Yeah, my
Stay out of trouble.
famous last words. Yeah, the green screen. It's actually probably my shirt. The green screen is usually quite good, but I've got this shirt on and it's yellow, and it's where the shadows catch it. The green screen thinks I'm turning black, so it has trouble.
So I think even if we lose 5 or 10 places on the opening laps, as long as we get through it cleanly, that's kind of what we want to go for.
Yeah, exactly. We just want to make sure that we stay out the pits as long as possible. Places really don't matter. I mean, this is both of your first team event, so really it's just a case of keep the car between the white lines, make it to the end, avoid the other cars, and this is my 6th or 7th, but I still haven't finished top 10, so it takes time. You need a lot of luck, but it takes time. Right, so we should be almost ready to go into the race. Oh, there it is. Right, so bear with me. The screen might go a bit sort of stuttery.
Click on race as usual.
Yep, click on race. Right, so we're just waiting for load into the main server now. I couldn't be, to be honest, Karen, I just couldn't be asked to change my shirt. I thought, should I put a nice bright shirt? I thought, can't be bothered. Just leave it as is. I'm just really hoping that the stream holds up and that I don't get disconnected on the formation lap, which has happened before. As long as I can get across the start line, if I can get a decent qualification. I've got 2 old hands, Jace. Yeah, exactly that. Good, steady and consistent pace normally yields good results. It really is just about knocking out consistent lap time after lap time. You don't really need to be the quickest. I mean, there's going to be teams in here. So the thing about team racing, you have X number of players in your team. So we have three drivers in the team, and we've all got an I rating. And the way your team is calculated is it adds you all up, and then it divides by how many drivers you've got, and that is your team's I rating, and then it puts you in the servers like that. So if you've got 3 really, really good drivers, then your I rating average is going to be huge, and it's going to put you into a really good server where your chance of winning is actually a little bit lower. Now, Tom has got the highest I rating out of all of us. He's about 2.2. Brett has got the lowest at 1200, and I'm sort of slap bang in the middle with sort of mid 1500, 1600. So what sort of lap times are we aiming for in qualifying? God knows, Jace, to be honest. Anything between 218 and 220 would be nice. It's doable. Hopefully the qualifying conditions for the track will be fast. They tend to be in races like this. You tend to hit your practice time, and then qualifying you get like a second off. So fingers crossed we can do that.
Hi.
Oh.
Started iRacing telemetry.
Good.
This is split 7 out of 10.
Right, bear with me a second, guys. Right, so I don't know if you can hear my race engineer in my ear, but we were split 7 out of 10. We were in split 7 of 10 apparently. So let's get a lap time in. I've got no time for my emergency
Okay,
wee-wee.
Matt, it's time for the qualifier. It's 2 laps and 8 minutes. 55 racers joined. Go get them out there.
Yep, I'm going to get them out there. Come on. Come on. Give me my drive. Give me drive. I'm just waiting for it to say drive. So I've already executed it. Right, there we go. Right. Qualification time. Here we go. So we're in the BMW M4 GT3. We've got Kentucky Fried Chicken livery, which is nice. Just get up Eau Rouge without crashing, because if you crash, you do hear my engineer. Excellent, thank you, that's good. Thanks, Cone. So yeah, don't want to crash Spa. Whenever you've got a track which is over 2 minutes a lap, you absolutely cannot crash on the out lap or the first lap, because you'll never get the chance to get a second lap. So just going to take it really easy for the first out lap, and then when we come back through the bus stop chicane, we can start to get a bit quicker. Okay. So really the sort of strategy we're employing with this race is don't crash. It is the simplest strategy in all of iRacing, but we just cannot afford to crash. Doesn't matter if we get a tiny bump and we spend 3 or 4 minutes in the pits. That's not really a big issue, but we don't want to be involved in any big crashes. I mean, the one we had at Silverstone, we were quite lucky, and iRacing has done a lot to reduce the repair times to stop people from quitting. Yeah, I say I don't know if the settings are right. I haven't really got time to spend a couple of hours and testing everything. Right then, so let's get the first flying lap in. Again tonight I've got the I've got the unenviable task of doing the first stint. It's off track. No, it isn't off track. So that's the first lap buggered. Nice one, me. Also might have, but shouldn't really, because I use on my PC, it's on a different Wi-Fi network to everybody else at home, but if everybody else is like streaming stuff, it may just be affecting it slightly. This car feels a little bit, that's good, cheers Kane. Hopefully this car is alright, because it just feels a little bit slidey than normal. The track doesn't feel its usual qualifying grippy self. This track feels a little bit slidey at the moment. Right. Let's try again, shall we? Right. Must not off track. OBS. I've got a really powerful computer, but you know, not being a streamer, I say I don't go through the settings. I don't know what's a good setting. For me, it's just usually there to record videos. I mean, I'm hitting 105 frames a second.
Number 203, Dominic Heck is now leading the class.
Going to be a pretty crappy slow lap, I think. But it just feels a little bit slippier than it has been in all of the practices. But hopefully that's the same for everyone, which means that if people are going to screw up at the beginning, they will. Whew, that was close. That was close. This is probably going to be about 221 or thereabouts. Doesn't feel particularly inspiring.
You need to pit now for fuel. There's only
220, yeah.
1.7 liters.
Right, I've got to do some
remaining.
setup tweaks. So
Box.
the stream may
job.
be stuttery for a few seconds,
Fastest
but again,
lap,
bear
2
with me.
minute 20.450.
Bit slippery out there then.
Yeah, it feels very different to practice.
Right, Matt. Coming up is race. Gridding time 2 hours 26 minutes.
3 degrees.
As it stands now, we need to finish P30 to increase our I rating. 3 hours 0 minutes. 55 cars joined. Good luck out there.
Right, are we ready, guys? Everybody's happy with how things work?
Yep, all good.
All good.
Excellent. I'll grid at 30 seconds to go. There you go. RIP headphones users.
Good luck, stay safe.
Now, that's the trick. Fingers crossed. I mean, where are we starting from? 43rd out of how many?
1 minute 0
55,
seconds
mate.
left.
65. That's okay. Plenty of time for people in front to screw it up. Let's just move that there. Right then, time to grid. Huge grid, 65 cars. Let's put that there. Little sip of water
30
before we go.
seconds.
God, we're practically at Stavolo 2. So far back. Cool. I imagine this race, I mean, even though it's the open
15
setups,
seconds.
I imagine that the Ferraris and Lamborghinis are probably going to be dominating.
10 seconds.
We're going to be green light well before we get to the bus stop.
5 seconds.
So, here we go. Good luck to us.
Let's roll.
It's always one at it's going to be one at the bus stop on lap 0, Jace. There's going to be people crashing
Good
before
luck,
we
mate.
get to the bus stop.
Track temp seems to be a bit lower than practice, so just be careful.
I'm betting there's going to be about 2 or 3 people crashing before we get to the bus stop. I can see we're moving. So. So the thing about rolling starts is the pace car has a set speed, and if you don't watch what the set speed is, you see in front now they start to bunch up. But we don't need to go mad. See, all the field's going to bunch up now massively. We just want to make sure we
Green, green, green.
don't get killed. See. It's already people want to go 3 wide.
Left side front. It's clear.
Right, let's go for it. We got anybody on the left? No, let's get out there. Let's see what happens around this corner.
Purple yellow in 4 seconds.
4 seconds, somebody is screwed up. On the right, apparently. There you go.
Yellow clear.
2 people facing the wrong way. Let's get out of Eau Rouge and just concentrate on putting in some consistent laps.
Yellow ahead in 7 seconds.
Somebody else has
1
crashed. See, that's...
Yellow clear.
Well, this is good, isn't it?
Rush hour.
All good. Still right. All clear. Left rear. Eyes forward.
Go, go, go left. Go, go.
Okay.
Yellow.
And we've got a net code 4X out of that somehow. Yeah, you didn't want to do that, dude. You see the guy come up on the right of me. Another crash. We're going to win this.
Local yellow.
Oh, cold tyres. Going to get us slowed down. That's okay.
P29.
Well, we've already gained 14
Nice
places.
currently.
God, this track feels so slippery. I bet that's what's caught a lot of people out. I bet that track's caught a lot of people out.
Definitely.
So you've got more people off here.
All clear.
Just watch out for this Ferrari behind. It's going mental.
Yellow ahead in 7 seconds.
Another one crashed.
Good job. Up to position 28. Incident has cleared.
He's taken himself off the track, that's good. Another car slow on the left here. Looks like it's going to be quite a few people going into the pits at the end of this lap.
Yellow in 6 seconds. 1 in front. All clear. Incident.
Yeah, netcode, absolutely killing that netcode, isn't it? On a straight as well.
Eyes forward. Improving. Best lap time. 3 minute 9.215.
This is just
Nice, up to P30.
Good job.
typical.
Last position 19. Clear behind. And clear. Next position will add
Going to get
40,
a slow
rating
down there,
points
perhaps.
more.
Yeah, that's right. Come on, dude.
Estimated
Oh, he's
rating
crashed.
1,569.
What, a numpty.
All
Slow
good.
down. It's okay. We've got 3 seconds to the car behind.
It's clear. It's clear. Eyes forward. Clear.
Oh, it's off again. I can't believe this. This is unbelievable. The track is just
Zero
nothing. Seriously, this track has got zero grip.
Clear.
It's alright, keep going, keep pushing.
Eyes ahead.
So another one spun. See, look, I can't even.
We're clear. And
It
clear.
won't even stay on line. That's just so weird. This just feels really, really weird.
Eyes ahead.
I'm going to even go so far as to say this feels Assetto Corsa Competizione weird. I've got a lift on almost every corner. The track temp,
Last leader. And
can't remember what the track temp was.
No one behind. Wilson is closing in.
Is
Eyes
he going
forward.
to dive?
You have one GT3 closing. You have two near. Clear behind. New class leader number 39. Joss V. Elijah.
This is just so weird. This just feels so strange.
21 down. Good job. Quicker lap. 2 minute 25.918. Next position will add about 36 rating points more. Estimated rating will be 1,565.
What are the tyre pressures at?
Won't know until they've been changed.
We're clear. Clear. Clear behind. Right side rear. Still right front. All good. P23 current.
See, that guy 2 cars ahead of us totally lost his point.
None behind.
Yeah, everyone seems to be struggling as well.
It's catching so many people out.
Eyes
still.
ahead.
Somebody's crashed, have they?
Eyes forward. And clear. Clear behind. It's clear.
It's 3 Ferraris in front. I mean,
Good moving, Matt.
not everybody from that group is going to make it out alive.
New class leader is Kyle Denning. There's about 36 iRating to get for the position up ahead.
Anyway, let's settle in. 25 laps each of the stints, thereabouts.
Clear behind.
It's just so slippery coming through Blanchemont as well. Here we go. No, he's going to dive. No, he isn't. Crash behind. That's nice.
Good job. Best lap, 2 minute 24.001. New class
Drop
leader is
frame
number
seem to have
33,
stabilised.
Francesco Cagnasio. You are P23.
Just got to have a little lift going up
We're positioned
Eau Rouge
23.
towards Radion because it just feels so slidey from left to right.
Francesco Cagnasio.
We've got a nice 3 and a bit second gap behind. So these guys in front. And finally I can get through Les Combes without overshooting or anything. Right, hopefully it's going to feel a bit better over the next few laps. That yellow car in front really doesn't want to be there. I mean, team number 1, they obviously fancy their chances because they've got the highest I rating of the bunch collectively, but as I said earlier, the conditions mean that that's not really going to be great. Right, it's starting to feel a bit better now.
Yellow flag. Good moving. Up to class position 22.
Already the field sort of thinned itself out a bit. Was it John Socklich who was behind us earlier?
Horseman is now leading the class.
Because that was a 3-second gap and now he's up to 4 seconds. I think the guy, Edgar, I think he was one of the 3 that was battling in front. The Ferraris are absolutely lethal. On the fixed setup races, it's just Ferraris. Wall-to-wall Ferraris. You get the occasional Lamborghini or BMW driver who didn't quite get that memo. But for the most part, the fixed setup GT3 races are just grids full of Ferraris.
Lap, 2 minute 21.
So Socklich and Binder, that's the 2 names I've really got to look out for.
23 currently.
Yeah, it's definitely starting to get grip here. Still feels slightly unstable coming up through Eau Rouge, but apart from that, the rest of the track it now feels a bit more settled. Can't believe we've had 3 off tracks already, but it is slippery. But I think now, yeah, the tyres are definitely getting up to temperature and people are now starting to get the hang of stuff a little bit. That number 1 car in front really wants to get past. Maybe we could get another freebie coming up. Because the white Ferrari is really defending.
Borsma is now leading the class.
That's better. That's better. That's much better.
Good, good, good.
The only thing is, when we change drivers, we're changing tyres, so they're going to start really cold.
John Socklick may
Hopefully
get
by then
past
the
in
track
roughly
will
2
have been a
laps.
bit there.
Current interval is 3 seconds.
Fingers crossed.
Improved lap time by 2.0 to counter it.
Let's hope so.
Good job. Quicker lap time, 2 minute 21.700. Moving up to position 21 now. There's 32 iRating to get for the next position. We're position 22 now. Next position will add about 32 rating points more. Estimated rating will be 1,561.
So you think about Spa as well.
Francesco Kenyosio is now leading the class.
It's one of those tracks which is a nice track. I like it, but I'm not massively fast on it. Never have been. Everybody behind is closing in. Oh, I need to change down there. So I've just seen Devon Brock appear as a back marker. Socklich is closed as well, 2.6, 2.5. So drivers are starting to get their confidence back after that start.
GT3 closing. Improving. New Dominic Brill could catch up with you in approximately 11 laps. Current interval is 4 seconds. Improved lap time by 0.3 to prevent it.
Throwers are so fast up the hill. Still need, I think, just to turn my steering wheel a little bit more than I am at the moment. So I've always had this habit of just never turning my steering wheel far enough. So stupid, don't know why. Just
Number 6, Jean-Paul Borsma is now leading the class.
see, that's a much better feel through Blanchemont.
Yellow ahead in 2 seconds, one car.
imagine Edgar might be able to get past when we get to Radion.
Longmont F8I with number 4 Ducati.
That'll be a protest, Leonardo, for
Time.
sure, bro.
Yeah.
Interval is 3 seconds. Improved lap time by 1.2 to prevent it. Good job, Matt.
Thing is, even saying on voice chat
New
that
class leader is Angel Cabas.
you're going to protest somebody,
There's about 40
that is
iRacing
protestable.
Position up ahead. Well done. Best lap time, 2 minute 21.013.
Still, a few off tracks, but no damage. That's the most important thing. Traction control just wanted to cut in there for a second. Got to get my in-game text box sorted out there.
No one behind.
Oh man.
Yellow flag. Slow down.
It's always the car that's a lap down.
Meatball.
Repairs
I
are
just
required.
switched to gearbox cam to just see this BMW sideways.
So they're... Oh man, what is he doing? Do you know who it was? Because he's totally wrecked the car at the moment. Evening, John. Well, you probably just saw that. That was pretty superb.
Devin Brock from Trackalicious Endurance BMW.
So he's the guy who was laps down.
Yeah, that's him. Lost it on the curve.
Yeah, when he was braking into the bus stop, he just got his left-hand tyres onto the grass and then just snapped right and then just came straight into us.
Right. What's this going to be? Right, it's 9.25 minutes of repairs. So that's fun. Talk amongst yourselves. Nine and a quarter minutes of repairs. So
So, question is, do we want to fully refuel and have a short stop next, or do we want to run lower fuel the rest of the stint?
I think it's already refueled and it's done the tyres. So we'll run as per. We'll just change over as we're supposed to. Right.
No.
I'll try and have a look at that so that it might go a bit stuttery again while I do this.
Are you going to jump back in the car, Matt?
Yeah, I'll jump back in the car. I just want to have a look at the replay.
Got you.
Right, so the stream's going to go a little bit stuttery for a moment, so bear with me. Right, so yeah, that was an all-time classic, wasn't it? There, and he's just disconnected, so he's left. He's gone. No, he hasn't put anything in the text, has he? Saying, "Oh, sorry about that. Totally my fault." I mean, he was bothering the guy behind me, who it was obviously a lap ahead. So yeah, nice, like that.
Probably too busy thinking about chicken.
I mean, ultimately, if the car behind you is 1 or 2 laps down, and he's really bothering you, it's a 3-hour race. Just let him go, because you're going to get past him again in the driver swaps, and your driver on stint 2 might be better than their driver on stint 2. But yeah, he's just crashed and burnt. So he's going to lose. He's 1.6 I rating as well, so he's going to lose at least 99 out of this. So a really successful day, just for, you know, being an impatient little douche. Anyway, John, if you're still there, how are you? You made any progress in your graphics settings? Got 6.5 minutes left. They're all optional repairs, but I'm going to let them do all the optional repairs, because we want the car to feel as good as possible for the rest of the race.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we're not going to lose anything by it, so may as well.
I mean, luckily 6 minutes, only 3 laps. We're going to come out of this about 3 laps down, perhaps. So it's not going to be a massive disaster. Obviously, it's disappointing, but yeah, you can't really do anything about that.
That shot of creating a new racetrack and turning left into the right corner, you stood no chance.
Well, even as I'm turning in, that's past the point where I'll see him in my mirrors. So if I had a triple monitor set up, I might have seen this car come missile coming in from the right. But apart from that, yeah, absolutely zero you can do there. Yeah.
Yeah, I had only just switched to the gearbox cam to just see this BMW sideways, so by then it was too late.
They should be uninstalling the sim right now, especially for a 1.6 I rating. That's 1.6k I rating. That's really poor.
It's already 3 laps down. It's just offensive.
The good thing is, though, if you remember at the start of the race, there's people I mean, that pile up at the beginning on the Kemmel Straight, there's going to be people who've already spent 2 or 3 laps in the pits. So actually, we're going to be coming out, and there's going to be a lot of people still pretty much on pace for original position. So we're not really going to lose that many places, hopefully. Hello, Score. How's it going? Graphics are hit and miss. Sometimes it's great. Yeah, it's really weird. It's got to be your graphics drivers, John. It really has to. I don't know why I'm looking over the text box over there, but you're over there. It's got to be your graphics drivers.
Around about that team to letter, so chance to get feedback.
I'll come in on lap 26 to change over, Brett. So just keep. Well, I say 26. It's going to be. No, I'll go by time, because obviously my lap 26 isn't going to be race lap 26. Oh, lap 1, John, unbelievable.
Yep,
That's the first time that I've ever been in a race, especially on something like the Kemmel Straight, and everybody has just had to come to a complete stop and wait for people to just unscrew it all. But fair play, those that were sideways on the track, they waited for everybody to go before they started doing their little Austin Powers 3-point turn thing. Oh man. 3.5 minutes left. Thanks. I'm good, Skull. I'm good. Thanks for watching the videos, dude. So this race was
quickly nip to the toilet.
all good. Yeah, it's again, we're just so unfortunate. The thing with these 3-hour races, especially if you are the first stint driver, as I always tend to be, is you've just, because at the start of the race, the cars are so much closer together all the way through the field, before you have the driver swaps and things start to get a little bit offset. So you've just got to be really lucky to stay out of trouble. Now, we stayed out of trouble for so long because there were so many big pile-ups here, and we managed to get through all of them. We got a netcode 4X for nothing, literally just driving past a stopped car, but it gave us a 4X, which it shouldn't do if both cars are going really slowly, because the whole point about netcode, iRacing's netcode, it tries to predict where your car is going to be as well as where it currently is. So there's no way that we were going to hit anything because the other cars weren't going to be anywhere and they weren't in front of us. So I don't know why it's given us that, but never mind. But first stint, we managed to avoid so much trouble, and then we get taken out by a guy who's got it all wrong going to a braking zone, turned his car into a missile, and it's completely screwed my right front suspension. Very similar to Silverstone, where the right front suspension's gone. So very similar time, 1:45 to go. Can you just go to an external camera, preferably reverse chase, and have a look and see what the number in our windscreen is? Our race number, not our car number, our race position. It should be displayed on the digital readout on the window. Possible to go flat out with GT3 in Eau Rouge? Yes, but not in 6th. You can go flat out in 5th, but not in 6th. You don't really get into 6th. But yeah, basically, sometimes there's a little bit of lift. Depends on lengths as well. Yeah, well, yeah. But ultimately, if the car is stopped, it's stationary, and there's a gap, and I'm going through the gap, it's not factoring in this car moving forward.
How long left on repairs?
50 seconds. It's not factoring this car going forward, so there's nothing for it to move. And I'm going to a space which should be there. So if one of the cars is stationary, it should, theoretically, latency shouldn't come into it that much. Right, 30 seconds to go. Oh, man. It's really funny, because I've done so many of these races.
For some reason, I've showing up with everyone else.
I've never done a full stint, like an hour, really. Keep getting taken out. Or the first one, I did a full stint in the first one, didn't I? Because I had to go second after we lost the thing.
37, so with a bit of a gap to 38.
Okay. Right. Right, here we go. 5 seconds.
Round 2.
Out on track. Blue flag. Clear.
Right.
Clear.
Kyle, 3.6 seconds behind
Marcus
us.
Mantor may reach you in about 7 laps. Current interval is 12 seconds. Improve lap time by 1.5 to prevent it. Class position 37. New class leader is number 203, Dominic Heck.
Right, I'm going to be coming in 30 minutes.
You are currently still stationary in the pits for me on my screen.
Have you caught up to live?
I was paused.
That'll be it.
Yeah, all good.
So yeah, my race timer says race is now 32 minutes, so I'll come in about half an hour.
Cool, okay.
So we've got Kyle. But then behind Kyle we've got Manuel, and Manuel is laps down on us. So goodness me. Don't know how many laps he's spent in the pits. Still.
So car behind, lap ahead, 2 watched the got a lapse to the car behind
Car right rear. Clear.
I'm not sure if my text message went up, because I think my overlay is hiding my text messaging. Anyway, let's crack on, because, yeah, but guy behind me, Manuel,
How's
What's
the
he
car
in?
feeling on fresh tires from the pit stop?
I'll let you know in a minute. Yeah, the M6 were a bit slow, really. All score. Gonna get another off track there. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's still not quite as grippy as it could be up over his Radiant. I'm using up all the incident points as well. This isn't right. Fingers crossed I can keep no more incident points until I change. But yeah, the tyres still don't fill up to temp yet. The M8s all score for GTEs.
Incident in 7 seconds.
7 seconds, somebody's ditched it.
Yellow clear.
They've managed to get it going again. Who's that? Jean-Paul Bersma. Sounds like a South African dude, or an Aussie. We're getting further away from Manuel behind. The M8s are still a thing. They're not raced in real life anymore.
Car 6 ahead of us has lost 12.2 on the last
Because
lap.
BMW have pulled their GTE program. I mean, everybody is ultimately in the next couple of years. But BMW got out quite early. Now all these racing games are stuck with the BMW M8 GTE. That was better. They're all stuck with the M8 GTE. In iRacing, it's a lovely sounding car. It's got an awful lot of pops and crackles in the exhaust, but I find the braking on it just a little bit more severe. Than in the other GTEs, like the Corvette or the Ferrari or the Porsche. I don't know where the guy behind has gone, the back marker. He's just completely disappeared off the relatives box. Next car behind me is laps ahead, not by much though. Eight seconds, 8.2, they're going to be fighting. And we're not really losing Jean-Paul in front, so the pace isn't too bad. The pace doesn't seem too bad. We're not really losing Jean-Paul.
Yeah, no, looking good at the minute.
Drop frames are low at the moment, according to OBS. That's good news.
21.4 on previous lap.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God, somebody's apologising. That's not the guy who hit us earlier, is it? Apologising? Should be. He should be on his way round there with a bunch of flowers and a bowl of fruit. I mean, the thing is, even though I've had such bad luck as the first stint driver for the last, certainly the last 3 races that anybody watching this will have seen, I really enjoy being a first stint driver. That was deep. That's what she said. What's Cohen saying now? Much more sun than on the start. Yeah, it's really brightened up, isn't it? I can't quite see what the track conditions are like the time of day it is.
New class leader car 17. Walk in.
Car feels good though.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kevin.
Car feels solid though. I mean, the grip's starting to come back, but other than that, considering we had nearly our front right wheel taken off, car feels absolutely rock solid, so there's no handling issues.
Cool. Look forward to get jumping in.
And now I'm sort of nicely relaxed in my mode. Aidan and Marcel are still miles behind.
Good job. New quicker lap time, 2:20.492. New class leader is Walk in. New class leader, Walk in.
Yep, grips up to standard. Don't know why I've changed up there. Always hate doing first stint. Well, it's so much pressure. I mean, Jason was saying this on the last one we did at Silverstone about the first stint being like the hardest with the most pressure, and it is, because you've got to try and keep the car out of the pits, avoid all the hassle at the beginning. But generally speaking, if you can just get through the first couple of laps, if you put the practice in,
Number 203, Dominic Heck.
if you put the practice in, it's not a problem. So I don't really mind the first stint. It's quite nice to get it sort of done. If you're like third stint and the other 2 drivers have had really good runs, there's a hell of a lot of pressure on you to not undo all their good work. Really, nobody's got a... I've got no pressure at all, because my stint is what it is. If I get to the end without getting hit, that's great. If I get hit, that's unfortunate. So, because then the collisions are more likely going to happen at the start of the race. I'm going to go too wide there. But yeah, first stint. I'm really happy doing first stint all the time.
New class leader car 17, Walk in.
Yeah, car feels so good now. My biggest problem has always been braking. Having the feel of the car and the confidence in the braking is really quite
Delta
tricky.
behind over 5 laps, you increase the gap by 2/10.
One day someone's going to make a set of brake pedals with like hydraulic resistance, and a game is going to have the feature where the game can feed back into the pedals and you'll get the proper resistance and you'll feel what the car feels. That won't be Gran Turismo 7 before anybody says anything. I'm going to go on a really, really tiny Gran Turismo rant in a moment, because what's made me quite smile a lot recently is Fanatec's new GT DD Pro wheel. So you get the wheel, it's obviously a very budget end direct drive wheel, and you get the pedals, and you can upgrade and get a load cell pedal as well. But the thing is, if you do all of that, that's about 800 quid. So I hope the people who buy Gran Turismo 7 in its anniversary or ultimate edition, which is about what, 90 quid, and then buy the direct drive wheel with the load cell, I'd really like to hear their opinions on how PCs are expensive and iRacing is expensive, because the direct drive wheel is not going to have anything like the feedback it's going to get from racing on a PC game, and the load cell pedal is actually the more important bit of equipment in sim racing without a doubt. But again, with console games, even though it's a PlayStation 5, it's the new generation of console and supposed to be super duper, it still wants to kick out incredible graphics, and it wants to have all these dynamic weather effects, and all that's going to be used up, so you're not really going to have time. And
by 3/10.
all the tracks that aren't real world tracks, in order for them to have phenomenal feel on the direct drive wheel, they're going to have to put in every single bump manually.
Is now leading the class.
It's incredible, really. But yeah, the cost of the Gran Turismo Direct Drive Pro wheel, it's very competitive, it's a very good price, don't get me wrong, but if you're going to buy all that and the best Gran Turismo and a PlayStation 5, please don't come into any of the streams and say, oh, iRacing's expensive, because you will have dumped close to £1,000, if you include the console, well over £1,000 into a game which ultimately is going to be about 60% at most as good as anything you'll find on PC. There we go, Gran Turismo rant over.
Leader, Dominic Heck.
Are you still with us, Baz?
Interval increased by 3/10. Evgeny Pimenov in car 25 ahead has lost 15 minutes 42 just recently. Car 26, Brian D. Sullivan is now leading the class.
Still here, good. Yeah, what I was going to say, apparently you guys on the stream can hear my digital race engineer, which is my crew chief replacement. I just wondered what you thought of it, because it's I don't know if you've heard it before or seen it before, but I really prefer it to crew chief. It gives me much more information about what's going on, and when we had the carnage earlier, it will tell you, you know, car left front, car left rear. So it's much better at accurately telling you where the cars to your side are. So I don't know what you thought about it, buddy.
Number 203, Dominic Heck is now leading the class.
Ah! Busy looking at the readout to see if I get an off track, as opposed to actually turning the wheel to make sure I don't get an off track. We've got these two behind me, maybe battling, maybe on the same lap. Got to really take care, it's three of them. Got to really take care I let these guys through. Now it's 12 and 21, so they're not together, but the guy behind Evgeny, Adam,
Gap ahead is 1 lap.
boring robot voice. Yeah, it's because it's text to speech. It uses voice attack, so it's text to speech, and it's only got about 4 options.
Class leader is car 20, Bjorn Beiersdorf.
So let's just stay to the right here. Let these guys pass. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. You've seen it. You've seen it. The guy behind me is going to want to let through because he's fighting with that Lamborghini 2 ahead. I mean, the guy in front is laps down to the guy in front of him, and we all saw how well that worked out for the guy earlier.
New class leader number 203, Dominic Heck. Left side rear. All clear.
Oh, he was. There's a guy behind me now who's for position, so I've got to make sure that you never let the guy for position through. How far? 1.4 seconds. Okay, so we've actually got a race on our hands with the guy behind. But to be honest, I'm not that bothered if he passes. Because he's got a guy right behind him.
Diego Villarreal de Leon in front has lost 52.2.
Yeah, I've spotted him. He's got a guy right up his tail, so might be alright. Cool, that was lucky getting stopped on time. I threw everything there. Brake pads, anchors, excess baggage.
Interval in front is 1 lap. Car ahead did a new PB, 2 minute 18.885. Blue flag. Goes exiting pits.
Rodrigo.
And clear.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Rodrigo.
Right side front. Clear.
All the places, and now Marcus is going to have us. Of all the places just to come out and dawdle. Good God.
Right side rear. All good.
Oh, that's aggressive Ferrari from earlier. He's managed to stay out of trouble. It's always the way, isn't it? Hasn't had a crash, but has seen loads in his rearview mirror. Probably going to get the run on me now.
Car 203, Dominic Heck. Delta in front over 5 laps, interval bigger by 7/10. Car ahead did a new PB of 2 minute 18.694. Blue black.
So we've got Craig behind us. See how Marcus deals with Craig.
Thank you.
New class leader is Arnold Adjutant. Yellow flag in 6 seconds, 1 ahead.
So somebody's crashed. That's what.
Incident has cleared.
I would swap on the electric car.
It's one off track there. Thanks, dudes.
Blue flag. Still left rear. Still left rear. Still left front. All clear. New class leader, Dominic Heck. We're P38 currently. Right rear. Still right front. Clear.
Right, I'll do another 2 laps. I'll come in at the end of the second lap.
Cool. Okay.
Delta time behind over 5 laps. You are slower by 4/10.
Where's he going? Where did Marcus go? That was really weird. Did he think he was in the other pits or something?
New class leader number 333, Arnold Adjutant.
That was weird. Anyway, nearly at the end of stone chip. No, it's rubber off the wheels, those little black marks. We're going to get a tear off, so that'd be clear for the next driver, Brett.
New class leader car 203, Dominic Heck.
need to get the guys to get the car ready for the pit stop. Yes, it's good until you forget to remove it. That's why we need to select the windscreen tear off. Right, can somebody go into the pit menu, then the crew chief, and make sure we've got full fuel, all 4 tyres changed, and the windscreen tear off, please?
Good moving that. Up to position 37.
Nice one.
Currently. Watch out.
Right, so boxing at the end of this lap.
Interval in front is
Confirm.
3.3. Ion and exit.
So Brett, make sure you're ready.
I'm ready.
New class leader is Bathurst North.
You just need to take it a little bit easy coming up Eau Rouge the first time. The laps took about the tyres took about 3 laps to get warm for me.
Yeah, I'll keep it steady.
What's the number on our window at the moment? How far is Kyle behind me? 0.6.
So the BMWs for some reason don't show it, but we are running 38.
Left side rear. Clear. New class leader is Dominic Head.
Right, so I'm coming in. This is the end of my stint, which is good news for my bladder. Hi Mikey, I don't know why again I'm looking over there, for that's the chat, but you're over there. Hi Mikey, nice to see you, dude. As usual, all the drama has happened on my stint, and I'm about to box and get out the car.
Local yellow in 7 seconds. 1 slow. "20 seconds to our stop. Stopping for gas, 4 tires, and windscreen."
Awesome. The guys have done the right thing. Oh, where's my pit box? Where is he? Where's my pit box? Oh, there he is, right at the end. Out I get. And I'm out. Okay, I'm out.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Matt. Good stint.
Oh, all drama with me, innit? So, yeah, basically, just take easy for the first few laps, and I think you'll be fine. Yeah, good luck. I'll be here. Little boys' room time, you're quite right, Cohen. I was trying to put a better view on.
Out on track. New class leader number 39, Christoph Hermans.
Right, there we go.
Kyle Denny in car 27
Oh.
in front of you has lost 30.6 just recently. Kyle Denny in car 27 in front of you has lost 30.6
Good luck,
on
dude.
the last lap.
Cheers, Matt.
Cool. There we go. So now we can see Brett's in the car. So this is Brett's
Car
first.
right rear.
This
Still
is
right front. All
how
good.
bizarre. This is
For your info, car
Am I live?
94 behind you has a low safety of 1.66.
No, I'm not live. Right, so that's better. So yeah. So Brett's in the car
You're
now.
Position 39 now.
That's a great livery, isn't it, Scott? I was just looking through for. Actually, I'll talk about it in a second. This is Brett's first endurance
Right
race.
side rear.
It's also Tom's
It's
first
clear.
endurance race. Tom's going to be doing the last stint. I'll say I've done about 10 of these, but yeah, they're both guys. I mean, Tom, you might know Tom more so than Brett, because Tom does a lot of the other stuff like Automobilista 2 and Assetto Corsa Competizione. He's got a brother as well. I can't remember his brother's name, but he's Tom. What's your brother's name?
It is Daniel.
Cheers, that was it, yeah. Yeah, so Tom and Dan tend to appear as a pair in Assetto Corsa nights, and they are both absolutely rapid in Assetto Corsa Competizione. So hopefully we'll see a lot more of them soon. But even of the three of us, as I mentioned earlier, but you may not have been here to see it, Brett has the lowest I rating of the three of us. He's on about 1200. I'm on, well,
Incident in 7 seconds.
1600 or
ahead.
something. And Tom is on 2200. So Tom is the highest I rated. He's a very smooth driver. Really, we just wanted to make sure we did this consistently, smoothly, not go mad, and try and stay out of trouble and see how we did. Unfortunately, we couldn't stay out of trouble. For the benefit of the guys who just joined, who certainly joined after lap whatever it was, 5 or 6.
So we basically have two other people on our lap. One's about 10 seconds ahead. The other obviously got us 4 stops.
Yep, that's cool. No big deal. Yeah, I think we're 30 something, aren't we? My race labs are saying we're 18th, but we're about 30 something. But that's fine. I mean, if we finish in the top half after missing 4 or 5 laps with those repairs, then we're doing all right. Because we had more repairs there than I did at Silverstone. So it's all good. It's just real learning experience and practice, the first few we do. So yeah, so our I rating, the strength of field here is 1.6k, as I predicted it would be, because that was our average. When you look at 2.2k all the way down to 1.2k with me sitting in the middle, so pretty much the average driver in this split will be the drivers that I go up against most of the time. There'll be drivers that are slightly lesser ability, most of them, than Tom, and will be slightly better ability than Brett. But this is how it all works out. So, yeah. Right. As Cone said, little boys' room time. So I shall be back very, very shortly. Don't go anywhere. Go anywhere. It's up to you. But I'll be back shortly.
Mic off.
Danke, Thomas. Oder hast du slow?
Good job. Personal best lap, 2 minute 19.844. Delta in
Mic
front
on.
last lap.
Right.
Closer by 1.4.
There we go. That's half my body weight gone. Pro tip: always go to the little boy's room, even if you've just been. Before you go and start your stint, go again. Oh, anyway, the livery. Yeah, if you're still there, Scott. Yeah, I was looking because a lot of the teams they have liveries for the team, and certainly when I'm driving with Jason Max as part of the GTUK team, you know, I've done plenty of little liveries for us to use. But for the team, I mean, today we're fast repair racing. That would have been nice, a fast repair. But oh,
Get close.
that was nicely held. Yeah, because I couldn't really be asked, basically, to create a special livery for us.
Mic off. Mic on.
My cat can't make his mind up whether he wants to come in the kitchen or out the kitchen. He's put his nose outside and it's a bit too cold, so he's gone. Yeah, so I couldn't really be bothered to make a fast repair racing livery, so I just had a look on Trading Paints for a nice, pretty, eye-catching colour one, and saw this KFC one and thought that's pretty good. So, because normally when I drive the BMW, I drive with the Campari, the classic sort of Martini racing colours, the sort of turquoise, blue and red. But I thought I'd have a bit of a different livery. It's quite nice, fun. It's very well done. Whoever did it, I can't remember the guy who did it. I should really have written it down to give him credit, but no, it's all right. Well, Brett's doing all right. Brett's doing very well at the moment. He had a good save up at Lake Coombe. He certainly feels okay with the car. Good. So now I've got the unenviable task of
Delta in front previous lap. Gap closed by 0.6.
I've just been able to sit.
Good moving. Position 38 now.
And 38.
Next position may lose about 18 rating points. Estimated rating will be 1,511.
That's all right. If I can come out of this, I mean, you sort of, you don't really take your life in your hands that much with your rating, with endurance races. The 24-hour ones, those are the races where you can really start to stack safety ratings specifically. I was watching Matt Malone do the Daytona 24, and he drove a stint of 4 hours continuously, just 4 hours straight. He didn't get a single 1x, and his safety rating went from like 1.01 all the way up to 4.99.
Position 39.
So if you can stay clean,
Next position may lose you about 22.
then you stand to gain a lot. You don't really gain as much with these, which is good, because if you're unfortunate, as we were, with the car taking us out, and you spend too much time in the pits, because we were running really well there. We were well inside the top 20, I think, and I thought, you know, if we can stay out of trouble through the entirety of my stint, I thought, yeah, we might finish, well, you know, maybe 15th or higher, maybe even start bothering the top 10, especially when Tom gets in later in the race, because he's our quickest driver. And there'll be fewer teams out there, or there'll be certainly slower drivers, because a lot of teams put their fastest driver in first.
Good job. Position 38.
But yeah, it's going all right at the moment. So we've got 1 hour 14 of the race gone. What is happening? Let me just check some stuff. I don't need to send that text message now to Brett saying that the game has crashed. And again, that's something you always learn, and that's something we learn, or I learn, after
Interval
the
behind is 1 lap.
the race that we had at the Red Bull Ring, the very first endurance we did,
All right.
when
P37 now.
my game crashed as soon as we started the formation lap. Have a way of communicating with your teammates if your game crashes, because I can't use the the in-game TeamSpeak. If I had anything else on, like TeamSpeak, the crash may have affected the whole PC. So always have a second backup where you can say, oh, game's gone wrong, take over, etc. Oh, there it is, there it is. So what can you see at the moment? You can see the head-to-head. You can see the standings. You can see the at the top. You can see the relative. You can see the fuel calculator on the right, which you don't really need to. But the view looks good. Oh, the stream looks quite smooth actually. That's a pleasant surprise. And we've got 12 people watching. Thank you, every single one of you who's come to watch. I was in sort of half a mind to stream this because I know that OBS for me can be a bit problematic with things like dropping frames or getting stuttery, and nobody really wants to see a stuttery stream. It will just get people out straight away. But you know, it's just nice to be able to put something on, because the previous 3-hour races that I did with Jason and Max, they obviously, Jason's channel draws a big crowd. But ultimately, Saturday evening, bit of racing, 3 hours, drop in and out as you want to. You can't really go wrong. So, yeah, it's good. Next one, maybe in 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks.
Car ahead heading to pits after 28 laps in the stint.
Is that Pascal going in the pits?
Good moving, Matt. Up to position 36 now.
No, it's staying out. Okay. Perhaps the car ahead then is ahead of us race standings. Because there's a lot of cars in the pits there. Steve Stitch. That's... is that what we're talking about? Could be, yeah. I think we've just passed somebody in the pits for position. Yay.
Yeah, hey, up to 38.
The final position's not really a thing for us. I mean, I think when we crashed, we were inside the top 20,
Good
which
job,
was really
Matt.
good.
Class position
But
35 now.
ultimately, if you enter
Next
these
position
races
may lose you 7 rating points.
thinking, yeah, we're going to win, or we've got to get top 5, you know, you're going to need 3 absolutely tip-top drivers, and then you're going to be in the higher splits, which makes it even harder. So it's just a case of ride your luck, be consistent, and pray for the best.
That's it. At the end of the day, looking through the field, we've got a case for 15, 16. So, like you say, luck of the draw.
Yeah, Tom's gone really quiet again, but he's up all the way up in Bradford, so you know, he's got further to travel to shout. So bless him. But yeah, going back to a set of Corsa Competizione very briefly. So this week, what have I got on the cards this week? I've got no GT3.
Marcus Mantor in car 777 in front of you has lost 25.6.
I've got no This is part of the VRS GT series, which is just single class GT3 cars. This week, the main series is at Detroit Belle Isle. I don't like driving street circuits with walls. You need luck more than you normally do on
Good
other
moving,
races.
Matt. Up to position 34.
So while my iRacing is just above,
Julian Schwab in front of us has lost 8 minutes 54 just recently.
so while there's Marcus is in the pits as well. I think we might finish ahead of Marcus then, because we've both got to make one more pit stop and we're ahead of him, so that's good. That's okay, no worries, John. You crack on with your life, dude. Thanks for having me on anyway. But yeah, this week, so I won't be doing. Well, I did get 15 questions right on the Christmas University Challenge, Mike. So you know, it's not such a small brain hidden between my ears. But yeah, so no VRS
moving.
series this
Up to
week.
class position 33.
Blimey, Dre, give me a
Next
chance.
position will lose you 0.
But the thing is, this week, IMSA, which is LMP2 and GT3s, IMSA is at Spa. So how about that? I've got another week of Spa and a GT3 to look forward to. I'm really going to make the effort this week to do the European Sprint Series, because the European... I didn't do it this week because it's at Road America. I never ever get any luck at Road America in GTEs. I think I've had about 5 races there in GTEs. I've
We've
finished
managed to gain
one.
another position and we're in 37th.
Yeah, we passed somebody in the pits, and they're going to have to make another stop like we are, so we should still stay ahead of them at the end of the race.
Martin
Fingers
Jackie
crossed.
ahead has lost 12.049.
So yeah, I'm hoping to do the European
Philip
Sprint
Von Danwitz in
Series.
car 28
Those are
ahead
60
has
minutes.
lost
I'm
9.8.
sorry.
Sergio Hernandez in car 8 ahead of us has lost 9.8 on last lap. Francesco Cagnasio in front of you has lost 12.034.
That is the one downside to Dre is a bit of a chatterbox. Anyway, so the European Sprint Series this week is I can't remember where it is this week. Silverstone? No, Suzuka. That's it. It's at Suzuka. So I'll be doing that hopefully this week. So we'll have IMSA here, European Sprint Series and the GTs at Suzuka. The following week, the GT3s are at Bathurst, so I won't be doing
One
that.
car coming out of pits.
And
Mantor at pit exit.
I can't remember where IMSA is. Oh, it's at Knock Hill. We are definitely not doing IMSA at Knock
No one
Hill.
behind.
That is
Heads
just...
up, 38 ahead of us has a relative low I rating of 957.
It's insanity.
Moving up, position 32 currently.
That's good driving, Brett. So yeah, we're definitely not doing multi-class GT3s at... Yeah, I know, Mike. It's... Phew, what can I say? I'm a shy retiring flower, I'll have you know. So we're not doing Knock Hill, because that's just stupidness, really is. I don't like driving on small tracks with fast cars. So that will just be the week after, then just be European Sprint Series at Silverstone, and then after that, the European Sprint Series is at Imola, I think, and Sebring after that. I might be missing a track out, but yeah, there's going to be no VRS Series. At least you know where JV will be hiding exactly. Now, John Vorta Racing in the chat, he's been having real problems lately with iRacing with the graphics, and that sounds really weird because the graphics on iRacing really, it's a single core game, so it uses very little energy from the CPU, let alone the GPU, and most quite old GPUs can handle it easily, and John's got a really nice fairly new computer, but I think it's his graphics drivers, because iRacing had a patch update this week, and sometimes certain users, after an update patch, it can make their graphics go a bit weird, and that's what's happened to John. So I'm hoping that John can... Well, we had a look earlier on. I did... Oh, don't hit him up. Good one. Nice one, Brett. Earlier on... Oh, he's going to the pits. That was lousy. Goodness me.
There's a late call from him.
Left rear.
Yeah, that was a really... Like, oh, I need to be in the pits.
Delta ahead over 5 laps.
Yeah, earlier on, because we were trying to
9
troubleshoot what his graphics issues could have been on iRacing. So I said, have the other racing games, do they play okay? Because Assetto Corsa Competizione, obviously, and again, PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 users put your fingers in your ears. Assetto Corsa Competizione is a real graphics killer on good PCs. It's so system intensive. So he tried it and it was working fine on his PC. So it's obviously something unique to iRacing. I didn't bother asking him to test it on Project Cars 2 because why would you? But yeah, he's got an issue. So I think ultimately John's got to raise the support ticket with iRacing and see if they've got any suggestions. It could be that they know about the problem and they're going to fix it, but yeah. Get that support ticket sent off. We need that. Get you, because we need you in GT. Oh, he's gone. No, what a save! Wow, give that man a medal. Phew, that was phenomenal. Normally, 99 times out of 100, that would end very, very badly.
Both Tom and I did that in the practice session just after you left.
Oh, we just show offs now. But yeah, want to get John into the GT racing. I know John was trying to take a break from GT racing, but ultimately
The leaders' car's seen better days. Front end completely stoved in.
oh, I didn't run into the same guy that we ran into earlier by any chance? Yeah, ultimately, I mean, obviously in America, the culture really is IndyCars and ovals, and
He's not a
iRacing.
BMW, otherwise he'd have no engine.
iRacing really does oval racing better than anything else, bar none. There's no competition really for it, so it is what it is. But you know, as a user base as a whole, GT racing is really where you get the most people. I mean, the number of splits in the Daytona 24 last weekend were crazy, absolutely crazy. 60, 70 splits, something like that. And each of those had, you know, over 50 cars.
We're in 34th now, apparently.
We are flying along. So yeah, let's get John. But the thing is, John's Mr. Porsche. He's just going to insist on driving the Porsche 911 GT3R, and at the moment, it's just not doing it. It's just not doing it. There's very few Porsches here. I mean, I can see one here, and he's behind us, not only on the track but in race position. The Porsche on this track at the moment is a real nightmare to get. Well, this is a good camera angle. This is basically far chase. Obviously, when you're driving, there's only one view, cockpit. But this is far chase. But I've actually made it further from the car, and I've raised the perspective, because you can edit all the camera's viewpoints. And I've edited this one so that when we were watching Brett and Tom do their stints, I can see quite a long way into the distance. I've got my engineer obviously telling me that there's crashes really far up the track, but I can see further than Brett can now. But also I can see if there's a car coming close in behind him, we can see exactly how much of a problem he's going to be. So on the last stream, Jace was switching between chopper cam and chase cam, but he didn't know that
moving.
you can
Up to position 31 now.
You can edit the camera angle. So
There's 8 iRating to get in the next position.
So you're saying there's a chance, John? You're saying there's a chance?
5/10 down from your quickest.
Basically, yeah, spotter cam. So I've turned... I mean, chopper cam is good, but you really need to pull quite far out with the field of view to get the benefit. This is much better. But it's not the default far chase. It's a lot closer, a little bit lower.
Clear.
But this is much nicer. See, I'm quite... Because I could have created a group of cameras that just keep cycling through.
P32 currently.
But here we're not going to miss anything, so it's good. Oh, this is going all right now. I mean, I'm so disappointed that we got completely taken out by that really impatient, incompetent idiot. Just had to bide his time. You don't go trying to outbrake cars that you're a backmarker to on the bus stop chicane. It's so stupid and unnecessary. They could have just gone on the radio and said, can you let us pass so we can get up the field a bit? Wouldn't have been a problem. But got it wrong, turned into a missile, nearly took the front half of the car off, and we're in the pits for 9 minutes. But again, under the old iRacing from about 6 months ago, that would have probably been about 20-25 minutes. So at least they've addressed the time spent in the pits. I mean, it's more realistic to be in the pits for 30 minutes, having your entire wheel assembly replaced, but it means a lot of people will just say stuff it and quit. And we want to, especially when you're streaming, you want to keep it going. Oh, John will be back in Assetto Corsa Competizione. What's going to happen? It's very simple.
Of us has lost 14.1 just recently.
It's very simple. John's going to get a couple of GT cars. I mean, there's only 5 weeks left in the season, so if he's going to do it, he needs to hurry up. Otherwise, he's going to start in week 13 and encounter Chris Russo, and nobody wants that. But John will get a GT car. He'll do a couple of GT races, and then he'll get the
20.2 previous lap.
He'll get the taste of blood again, and he'll go into low fuel motorsports and get his rookie license, and he'll be starting that and working his way up, and he'll be doing this juggling act of Assetto Corsa, Competizione, and iRacing. I absolutely guarantee it.
Clear.
Does that sound right, John? I say he's going to buy the GT cars. He's already got the Porsche. He tried it earlier today with the AI to test the jerkiness, so he's already got it. He just needs to get out there on the track. Low IQ motorsport. Well, I've only had 3 races in it. It took me forever to get the. I've got a video going live on Monday, which is a race I did today at Suzuka, and the race I did today at Suzuka was really nice. It was lovely. Had some good battles. Had some good overtakes. That never happens. The first 2 races I did in low fuel, I got taken off at 130R by a guy who totally misread everything that was going on around him, and then I got taken out on spoon by somebody who totally misread everything going on around him. But apart from that, it's been fairly clean. The real problem I've got with ACC is because I'm so used to iRacing, really I'd need a direct drive wheel to really feel what's happening, because I'm so used to one particular type of force feedback. ACC, even though since they've done the update on the force feedback, it feels a lot better to me, I still can't feel maybe 40% of what the car's telling me. I just can't interpret it. So even when I manage once in a blue moon to get my tyres at the right temperature,
moving up, position 31 now.
I still don't feel confident in the car. I mean, at the moment, and don't tell Andy Zielinski this. In fact, don't tell John Vaughter this, but at the moment I'm driving the Lexus. Maybe it's because I'm turning 50 this year. I've got to get the slippers on and the tartan rug and that decorative tissue box
Delta
holder for the rear parcel shelf.
Closer by 2.2.
But
Brown exiting pits.
It took me ages to get the license at Zandvoort, and then I random call sign did a video. I was doing a stream saying he was at Suzuka, saying, "Wow, the Lexus is really good at Suzuka." And I thought, well, you know what? Zandvoort's not really a million miles away from Suzuka in terms of layout, so let's give it a run around Zandvoort. And within about 10 minutes, I was already a second quicker than I had been in the Ferrari, the McLaren, all of that. So midlife crisis. D Fragler, nice to see you, dude. D Fragler's usually found in John's streams, but yeah, nice to see you, buddy. Midlife crisis. I'm chilled. I'm not in a crisis. I hope it is midlife though, because living to 100, I'd go for that. I've had a few really bad health scares lately, so, and John knows what that's like, although his were much worse than mine. But it really does. It really does make you sort of just reevaluate slightly everything. But yeah, if I'm still knocking about at 100, I'll be well happy. Is he gone? Has he gone? Has he gone? He's gone. Bye bye BMW. Goodbye front end. Yes. Well, it was a guy on Gamer Muscle on his stream, wasn't it, Baz? Basically, because everybody loves IRFFB, I don't use it because I find it actually affects OBS even more than iRacing does for me. But again, that's probably down to the settings. But yeah, a guy on one of Gamer Muscle's streams, he was just sitting there watching, and he thought to himself,
"That guy that spun off in front of me at Pool One was in P2."
What a shame. The guy was watching, and he realised that IRFFB is actually open source. So he went into it and made sort of a few changes to the files so that it would be recognised by a set of course competizione, and then...
Well, the car ahead of us now decided to reverse in the pits, and I think he's got
2 minutes 21.1 on previous lap. Car behind did a new best lap time, 2 minute 19.745.
Gets better and better.
Car 22 in front of you has lost 31 minutes 50.
Yeah, because
I'd say reverse in the pits. For about a minute, he was reversing the entire length of the pit lane.
Awesome. That is, you can't teach that. That is quality driving. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I don't think you need...
Exactly.
I don't think you need IRFFB if you've got a direct drive wheel, because the amount of, the hertz going through it and the fidelity going through it is so much higher anyway, and you're not losing...
He thought if you reverse over the line and then go forwards, you get an extra lap.
You're not losing the problem you have with the belts and stuff, but we've got the same wheel mic. And yeah, since 1.8, it's... And also Jason says this, Jason Game Tech says this, and he's got the TGT2, which is kind of similar internals, but with an extra bass shaker stuck on the back with some blue tack. But it feels so much better. But we went to a gaming show called EGX last October, I think it was, and there was some rig makers there, and to be honest, their rig was pretty crap. But they did have a SimuCube Ultimate direct drive wheel and some hydraulic pedals that were about $3,000. I've never seen them before, never even heard of them, and they were unbelievable. But I didn't get to try them. But Jason and Max, Jason's son, they both played Assetto Corsa, and this was just before just after 1.8, and they said that with a direct drive wheel, it's just a totally different game. It's just unbelievably good. So, hello, pretty cat. So, you going to jump up on me so everybody can see you? Oh, why not? Because you're orange and my top's orange. No? You don't want to? No. So yeah, if I had a direct drive wheel, I'd probably enjoy a set of course competizione much more. But with the setup I've got, with the play seat challenge...
Coming out of pits.
Put your flashlight in your ass, man!
Yeah. I hate people who flash their lights. Not because it puts you off, it's just so rude, basically. Unless you're trying to overtake a back marker and attempt to get out of the way, fine. But if you're just behind somebody flashing your lights, don't do it. You look like a complete idiot. So yeah, we're sort of thinking that we might try and move house in a few years, and if that happens and I get a bit of space, I can put a permanent rig, then yeah, I'll go for a direct drive wheel. But ultimately, I'm just sort of not stuck, because the T300 is good, but I'm stuck with. Oh, Alex, you're so nice. Cheers, dude. Yeah, I'm stuck with a decent Thrustmaster wheel. But ultimately, it's the pedals that you need to make sure are the best bits of your equipment. And I've got load cells, although I'm on my second set, because Thrustmaster load cells, they seem to be a little bit fragile. A lot of people have, I count, I think at least 6 or 7 people who've had to send their TLCMs back after less than a year's use. And looking at the brake pedal, I mean, this unit I've got now is about 3 months old, but the brake pedal, there's so much play in it as standard, so I don't know. We'll see what this Thrustmaster direct drive's like when it comes out, because everybody's trying to compete now with Fanatec and their entry level, but for the they're not too bad, but they just seem a bit fragile, Mike. The CSL DDs look good, but then for the same price you've got the SimMagic Alpha Mini, which obviously being made in China, is dirt cheap, and is looking to be an extremely strong wheel. Yeah, metal and plastic, exactly. I mean, the actual...
Javi Ortiz in front has lost 9.8 on
there's
the
a lot
last
of metal
lap.
on them, but the sort of the pins, it's all... The housing it's held in is plastic, so you're going to get a lot of play. Brett's doing absolutely... You're doing absolutely superb here, Brett. I've got to say, dude. Barely any
Thank you very
trouble.
much.
Oh, but
Keep
you've...
going.
Haven't you got
1.3 down from your fastest lap.
Haven't you got those acrylic or polymer instead of the springs on your brake pedals, Mike? I did set the stream up for 0 delay,
All right,
but
up to position 30 currently.
I think there is some delay between
There's 10 iRating to get in the next
me
position.
speaking and you hearing it. I like a stiff brake pedal, I really do, but having the play after it that you can push through, because that's ultimately what brake pedals should be like. Brett's doing so good here. This is Brett's first ever stint and his first ever endurance race, and he's absolutely delivering on the money. Superb. Who's this in front? Marcus. He's already a lap down. You have the red springs. Yeah, mine are all... Are they all red? Yeah, I've got the red preload and the main load springs. Who had the... Yeah, I mean, I did have them... I started off with them both as red springs. And then I thought, having them both really stiff, the preload and the main load, just doesn't make sense. So I went back to the black spring for the preload, but it was just a bit too soft, so I went back to all red, and it's much better. But to be honest, I'd like it just a bit stiffer. I like the look of those polymers. Who has the polymers then? Is it Barry? Barry Evans who's got the polymers. So I know somebody has. Baz, Alpha Mini is great. Borrowed it for a while. Amazing also. Yeah, I mean, this is what it's going to be now, isn't it? I mean, these Chinese made stuff, they just make so many of everything, and they're pumping out stuff left, right, and centre. They really are cutting their costs and bringing prices down. The only issue is we've got Alex behind us, so he's already let us through once. Is he going to fight? I don't know. So we're ahead of the guy in front, Marcus, and Marcus.
Delta in front last lap, closer by 3.5.
This is a little bit naughty from
Car
Marcus,
behind said it's
because
PB of
Marcus
2
in
minute
front of us is actually
19.521.
battling with the car behind us. So if he let us past, he'd be setting himself up to be attacked by Alex. But really, he should be letting us past. It may be worth letting Alex just get by so that he can have a go at Marcus. Although having said that,
Car left front.
I don't think they're on the same
Still
lap,
left
so
rear.
yeah, cancel.
All clear. Clear.
Nicely done. You've got about 17 minutes or thereabout. Oh. Yeah, about 17 minutes or so until the hour mark. I have some space to push
Just say when and
harder.
I'll come into the pits.
I'll give you plenty of warning. How are we doing on incident points? 16. And brilliant job on the incident points, by the way. I think you've only got one. Awesome. Yeah. Ooh, Dowking told me. Me and Dowking. This is me and Dowking. I like the pedal to be fairly
Lucas Duran
stiff.
ahead heads into the
The thing
pits
is, when
after
when
one
my
laps.
TLCM pedals broke, the weird thing was it was the throttle that broke, not the brake thing. You'd really think the brake pedal would be the one which would go wrong, because that's the one you're putting all the pressure on, and the accelerator is just the accelerator. But the accelerator pedal went wrong. It was the circuit board was registering that I was pressing the accelerator when I wasn't, and so games were blipping the throttle. Goodness me, it was coming in hot. But when I sent it away to get analysed, I was going back. I used back to the T3PA, and I'd managed to adjust the rubber stopper
Delta
at the
behind
back
last lap.
to be absolutely
Gap closed
perfect,
by 1.7.
and I wasn't locking up on
Car
any of the
behind set its
GTEs
personal
or
best of
anything.
2 minute
And by the time the
19.424.
TLCMs came back, I was really undecided whether I was actually just going to sell them and carry on with the T3PAs, because I've got the feel absolutely perfect. But ultimately, it's a load cell, so you need to use it.
How are we looking for cars on the same lap of us as us? Is there any?
Note, car 22 behind you has a low safety rating of 2.45.
There's a couple stuck in the pits at the minute.
Well, the AccuForce V2 is the same as the VRS Direct Force Pro, isn't it, or something? It's got the same midge motor. I've got a friend, he was in earlier, Jason Palmer of Sim Rig Racer. He's got the AccuForce 1, if I'm not mistaken, in his little... His setup's really cool. It's all DIY, wood frame, and a Sparco racing seat, and it's in his cupboard under the stairs, so he's got sliding runners that the rig goes in and comes out. It's really good use of space, but he's I'm sure he's got the AccuForce. It could be a V2, but I'm sure it was a V1. It was a fairly old wheel, because the guy he bought it off of eBay was upgrading. So yeah, but ultimately I would love a permanent rig and a direct drive and triple monitors. Why not? I mean, I've got VR, which is unbeatable, but really for just convenience and less faffing, triple monitors. I mean, I wouldn't have probably seen that car that took us out on VR headset, but I would have seen it. Well, I would have seen it on triple monitors. It would have been too late. I wouldn't have been able to do anything about it because I was already committed into the turn, and this guy was basically like the General Lee from Dukes of Hazzard. He was totally airborne. You can't. The brakes don't work when the tyres aren't touching the road. But
I'm going to let the guy behind pass on the Camel Straight.
0.9. What's he in? Porsche.
All right, up to P29 currently.
Alright, I will be back in a moment.
Okay, go and get those pre-race checks done. 0.8. I think the guy behind is probably going to just be easier to let by a bit further on. Maybe after Pouon or around Stavelot area.
Yeah, he dropped back to like a second and a half just before Eau Rouge.
I mean, he's pretty much here now, so... Yeah, I mean, Brett's thinking about letting you past, and we're thinking about letting the guy behind past. He's got a guy he's fighting with 3 behind him, 3.5 seconds behind. Yeah, I think after you get through Stavelot on the other long straight, it'd be the best place to just take your foot off the pedal momentarily and let him glide past.
Evgeny Pimenov in front of us has lost 1 minute
Perfect.
20 on last lap. Clear. Good job. Up to class position 28 currently.
10 minutes to go. It's all looking very good. Yeah, apart from that crash, well, it's me who has the crash, but first stint, you tend to see more crashes than anybody else. apart from that crash, this has gone really well. I mean, we had an absolutely cracking start because of that huge crash on the opening, or those 2 or 3 huge crashes on the opening lap. We made up so many places. I think we made up something like 14 places on the first lap alone. But then everything's all undone when you get
Peter Brown with number May 27th. Catch
Bo
up
and Luke
to you
Duke
in about
flying
6
through the
laps.
air, taking the front of your car out
Current
because they're
interval
just
is 9 seconds.
massively impatient.
Improve lap time by 1.3 to prevent it.
That guy's doing really well in the Porsche on this track because I did a bit of practice on this track in the Porsche last
Up
week
to 30
and
seconds.
it was really horrible. Well, we're in the top half then, that's all right. Brett's doing so well. He really is. And we know Tom's quick. Try and get a bit closer, Brett. They came in after us to change their driver. Oh, has he got the run on him? He has as well. But the, I think a wide line at La Source to let Long fly past us.
You have Pinheiro exiting pits. 13.8 fuel laps left in the tank. Car right rear.
Perfect.
Clear. Still right rear. Still right front.
Alex
All
can
good.
go. He's fairly decent pace. We're not racing him, so. Blimey, the race leaders are in a Merc. That's unusual. Get away from that inside line, Marcus. So quite the little gaggle at the moment.
Watch out in 6 seconds. One slow. It's clear.
Yeah, probably for the best. Who's that gone? Thomas Foster.
Track clear.
Yeah, he was a bit troubling up to the end of the Kemmel Straight.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, we've got one more driver swap. They've got one more driver swap at least. So we're going to finish ahead of them. If they're that desperate, we don't want them to turn into another one of those flying BMWs at the wrong moment. Right, so the stream, yeah, it's about 20 seconds behind. How are we doing? Still got 12 people in the chat. Thanks for sticking with us. This will be interesting. Oh, he's done the right thing, Jason. Fair play. Are you going to let us through, though, Jason Power? That's the question.
4.7 up to your fastest lap time. Still
Yep.
left front.
Invite us
Clear.
through.
It's clear.
Nice one. Games versus MS.
Moving Matt, up to class position 27 currently.
So Jason's doing, Jason Powell that is, obviously doing some sort of fundraising initiative towards multiple sclerosis. He's just dropping back a bit, that's nice of him. Can't believe the leader's in a Merc. I can't believe the leader of this race is driving a Merc.
Is it a Merc?
Yeah, Mercedes. Dominic Heck, 1.6 seconds. He's the car behind Jason Powell, who's just let us past.
Good work.
Well, especially if you think about the opening 7 or 8 laps with how much trouble I was having on the track surface, being so slippery. With the Mercs at Spa this week, they've been a complete nightmare for the first 3 or 4 laps. And once you got past that, you're fine. So they'd have had, God knows, well, I don't know what his setup's like, but I imagine it would have been a right handful for certainly the first 6 or 7 or 8 laps. Although, to be fair, if they were out near the front and avoided all the pile-up, they've had practically 3/4 of a lap to get a bit of a gap.
Hristo Cheetah in front of you has lost 12.4
Maybe
on
they switched
last
it
lap.
round to the patch so that rather than having a slippery Merc at the start, it's got maximum grip.
Oh, so it'd be slippery at the end. That's good. So is this is Marcus again in front. Anyway, we've got 4 minutes here. So it's almost time
Yellow.
for our last driver swap. Are you there, Tom?
I'm here.
Cool. So if we do a swap in another 2 laps, we should be okay, I think.
Sounds good to me.
How's the fuel, Brett? Have you got a fuel meter on your screen?
I've got the in-car one.
You getting any warnings yet about having to pit?
Nothing yet.
No, it might be okay. I mean, even though we did, I mean, it's a full stint on the on a fuel tank, so it should be. I can hear a Merc. It should be 26 laps. You might want to let him past. Yep.
Car left rear.
Lovely. I'll tell you, Brett, this is such a good stint. I really can't sort of overstate it enough.
It's probably one of the best bits of iRacing that I've ever done.
See, when it all settles down, it's really good, isn't it?
It's fun. It is fun.
I always feel sort of, because I've been unlucky and I've had, you know, certainly in the last 2 races, I've had collisions that have required damage repairs in the pits. I always feel slightly sort of down after the first stint, but I prefer driving the first stint. It's just, you just have to be really, really lucky.
Yeah, it's just a shame about that flying beamer.
Well, so the thing is, what really gets my goat is the guy does it and then quietly shuffles off in the
Here within
background.
7 seconds. 1 involved.
I think that iRacing's algorithm should be
Watch
enough
out.
that if you get a 4x with somebody and then they quit the race before the end, they manually disconnect,
Local yellow in
you
6
should have that
seconds.
4x
One
wiped.
slow.
Because if they're, as far as they're concerned, the race never
2.1
existed to
down from your
them,
fastest
so that
lap.
collision should never have existed.
That would make the most sense.
So we've got Rui, who's obviously keen to get past. He's well below us, that's not a problem. Jason's not really making any inroads behind him, so we can let Rui past. And box at the end of this lap, please.
Yep, all good.
Tom, have you done the black boxes so the car's fully fueled, tyres and tear off, ready to go?
Yeah, all set.
Oh, he's good, isn't he? Oh, you're good. You're good, guys. I like this. Well, you say that, Defragler. You say that. Actually,
Thanks, boss.
Eau Rouge was a piece of cake because people, they know it's a tricky corner. You got the change of direction 3 times. The only time you have issues is if it's too wide or if somebody loses it because their tyres aren't up to speed. But here we had a couple of
Car
guys.
felt great for the whole stint. Nothing's been
Yeah.
a problem. It's been a bit squeaks, but other than that, all good.
Yes, that's the benefit of having all the optionals done. It's just so much worth it. If you come out early, you're carrying a broken car. So yeah, all good. Lovely stint. It's just been really, really, really good. So yeah, we had a couple of cars spin at La Source on the first corner, and then we had the biggest car park you've ever seen halfway down the Kemmel Straight. They were literally. It was
We
just
went from 39
Good job,
to
Matt.
jammed.
31st.
Class position 26 now.
that's good. It might even be better than that actually. But
You're in the fuel
yeah,
window now. You can come in now. Marcel Plag in front of us has lost 58 minutes 6 on the last lap.
yeah.
Watch out.
My crew chief is
All
saying
good.
time to refuel. So
20.
all good. That was an absolutely superb stint, Brett. That was really, really impressive, dude. So good luck, Tom.
Yeah, good luck, Tom.
was
Car
there-
was great.
was
Don't
there
no need to
another-
worry.
Was there another big
Cheers,
crash
mate.
after that? Perfect. Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
I had to do something.
Would he go too far forward, perhaps? I don't know. He's out. So now, now Tom's going to get in. So Tom is our fastest driver of the three of us. He's going to be stationary for 68 seconds while he's getting a full fuel load, new tyres, windscreen tear off, and then he's going to be good to go. And Tom will be motoring, absolutely motoring, because
Oh, that was good.
it's brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, Tom is a quick driver. 59, 60, here we go, 5 seconds or thereabouts. His car's going to get dropped down and then he's going to be out of there. 71, 72. Why is Tom not moving? Why is Tom not moving? Where's my... Oh, he's... Now he's going. Good. Had me worried there for a second.
You have 3 out on track. Warning, 8 behind you has a relative low safety rating of 1.56. It's clear. Car left rear. Still left front. Clear.
Yes. I want to pass you in Eau Rouge because I'm further ahead than you. High IQ move there from the Ferrari.
Pushed back to 32 in class. Still right
You'll
front.
have to see it.
It's clear. Next position will
Cool.
lose
That was a bit
34
close.
points.
Yeah. Why don't you just chop our front wheels off while you're at it, dude? Oh, no.
And then stopping mid
One when returning.
Okay, no worries. You've got 4
More
seconds,
on
3
track.
seconds.
Go in 2 seconds.
Stay to the right. 8 seconds now to the next one. No worries. It's all good. It's all good. That was unfortunate. That was it was, wasn't it, John? That was a really, really good drive from Brett. So his first ever endurance race, first ever stint, and Tom's having a little bit of
Carrying a
trouble.
bit of damage, but it's okay.
Yeah, Tom's having a little bit of trouble, but the tyres are cold. It's probably slidey tyres as well for the first couple of laps. Anyway, got 6 second cushion behind. Tom will find his groove. So Tom is really quick. He's the quickest of the three of us by about 3/4 of a second. We had a bit of a really weird problem this week, actually. We were absolutely killing it in practice on Tuesday and Wednesday, or Tuesday and Wednesday morning, certainly all day Tuesday. I mean, I was down to low 218s and easily about to cross into the 217s. But then there was a patch. They dropped a patch, which has completely screwed up John
Yellow
Vaughan's
ahead in 7
graphics.
seconds.
But
One car.
after the patch, the car was just slower by about a second and a half. So for the rest of the week, it's trying to find the pace. Yeah, that was absolutely superb, Brett. Absolutely superb. I really can't sort of, understate this. That was a really, really good stint. That was textbook. So apart from that crash, I don't know if you just saw Thomas had a spin, because all the cars ahead of him absolutely had to get past no matter what the cost, and then chop back across the front and leave him zero room in braking zones, plus cold tyres at Lake Hulme. So it's always a perfect storm there. But no, I mean, luckily the car's, it's a tiny bit of damage, probably just a bonnet or something, but looks drivable. He's getting into his groove now, so it's all good. There's Tom's skid marks. That's the scene of the crime from the last lap. Man, this is good. This is really, really good. I'm really pleased with how this has gone. Because I was saying to Jason, because we've been obviously saying, if you're part of the GTUK community regularly, and you've got iRacing and you fancy doing endurance races, then find the team on iRacing, put the application in, we'll get you in, and we'll take it from there. Now, the big question is that we're sort of asking ourselves at the moment is, okay, we've now got, I think we've got enough. We've got 6 drivers registered. We could do with a few more, but now we've got 6 drivers registered. We could actually put out 2 teams. But the thing is, obviously, is at the moment, me, Jason, Max are sort of fairly settled, because the good thing about team driving is you've got to obviously have confidence that your teammates are going to be able to drive the car. So when you're doing all the setups and stuff, like Tom did for this really well, he communicated everything very clearly, and me and Brett have found that the setup was a little bit tighter than the original setup that we were
Good
using.
job.
So
Quicker lap. 2 minute 18.914.
the thing is, do the people who are registered for the team, do they only want to drive with Jason I'll call it the main team, even though it isn't the main team, it could be just one of many teams, but will they only want to drive with Jason, or will they be happy to drive as a GTUK team? So for instance, we've got GTUK red, white and blue. The other issue is, obviously you can't guarantee that both teams will be in the same servers. You sort of could, by making sure that the I ratings of both teams are fairly similar, but obviously there's no guarantees, because iRacing separates their splits according to your numbers. So that's the question we're sort of trying to work through at the moment. Are we going to have multiple teams and hopefully everybody gets on the same track in the same race and we will have fun, or are we only ever going to sort of run one team and just see who's available, and take people if the the normal lineup is unavailable at the moment? That's the question. So really, if you are one of the 12 people watching who's a GTUK regular and you've got iRacing, I personally think that everybody would be happy just to drive and represent the channel. because this is just, as Brett has said, this is just such good fun. Endurance racing done properly with iRacing is absolutely unbeatable. It really is. Obviously going to have crashes
Local
and stuff,
in 6 seconds.
but the way
One
it's
there.
set up, the ease of use, the ease of
Thank
registration.
you. I love you.
Incident has cleared.
Yeah, awesome there, keeping his foot on the brake. The thing about endurance racing and iRacing, it's just the best. The driver changes are easy.
13.8
The way the
fuel
cars are
laps
set
left
up
in
are
the
fairly
tank.
easy. I mean, the game is obviously superb. So I think that anybody who's part of the Game Tech community would just love to drive as part of the Game Tech community team, whether it's Team Red, Team White, or Team Blue. If you're in the chat and you're part of the community and you've got iRacing and you want to do endurance races, what do you think? Say it now. Would you only want to race with Jason, which is understandable because he is obviously the main streamer and he gets the big numbers and stuff, or would you be really happy driving as a GTUK driver, even if it means not being in the same split and i.e. not on the same stream? Yeah, that really was, that really was a really good stint. I can't emphasise it enough. And Tom's off to a cracking start. I mean, he's had a spin, but he's reeled it back in. He's got the car under control and he knows what he's doing. So, if nothing else, this is going to be a very good consolidating drive from Tom. And it seems weird now to think there's less than an hour left. It's only 50 minutes. It's nearly finished. And we've still got plenty of... I think 25 is drive-through penalty territory. So as long as we don't get involved in a crash... because the only thing that's been added was that spin for a 2x. So as long as we don't get involved in a crash, Tom's not going to take this off track. I think, it's going to be good. Obviously, as you can see from John's username, John has got his own YouTube channel and a Twitch channel. He didn't do YouTube today, he did Twitch. He does a lot of... I think John's still trying to work out which one's going to be his preferred. The thing is, though, if you're just a streamer, Twitch is probably better. But the thing about Twitch is it doesn't really do anything to show you, like recommend you new communities that might be interested to you. You only get that with YouTube, but really you only get that if you do videos as opposed to lots of streams.
13.8
So that's a really
fuel laps
difficult
left in the tank.
dilemma to have. Obviously, I'm not looking at streaming on a regular basis, so I could give a
All
monkeys.
right.
I'll just
Up to
put
position
videos on
31
YouTube.
currently.
But yeah, go look at John. It's the same on everything, on Twitch and YouTube, Vorta Racing. And John's good. John's a lovely guy. If you're really nice to John, he sends you free stuff. It's awesome. Oh, this is brilliant. This is really good. It's a lovely way just to sort of chill out as well. If you're doing an endurance race, once your stint's over, it's really nice just to chill and watch. And the thing is, you do really have to have somebody who's watching all the time. You can't just say, "Well, I'll finish my stint, I'll hand over to the next guy, he's on his own." Because if the guy who's driving has problems, has a PC issue, their boiler blows up or their pipes burst or anything like that, there's nobody really to sort of take over. So even though you're only going to be racing for an hour in this 3-hour race, you really need to be there for at least 2 hours just to sort of cover the backs of your teammates. But team endurance racing and iRacing is absolutely unbeatable. It really is. The experience, the ease of use, the way they've got everything. I mean, iRacing, they don't do many things wrong, frankly. They've had long enough to get their product right. There's some things that still could need a bit of improving, but for the most part, their product is really solid. And there was what, 500 teams registered for this, and we were split something like 7 of 10. So that's phenomenal, really. But that's the Spa effect, isn't it? That guy who crashed into us, he nearly punted me into split 6. What's Brett's lap times like here? 2:19. Told you. Not Brett. Tom rather. Tom's lap times are really good.
Delta in front over 5 laps. Interval bigger by 9/10. Car
Ultimately,
in front set its personal best of 2 minute 18.534.
pace is really good, Tom. If you can keep this pace, we're really not going to be bothered by anybody from behind, to be honest.
Yeah, good job. Back up to 31st position.
Yeah, car's not too bad. A couple of Ks down on the straights, but it's alright.
Oh, look at the ones in front again. Just chopping back in the braking zone. Oh, what a pain in the backside that is. Pick a line, stick with it. There's I could post a link. Oh, no, I won't post a link now. There's a really good video done by Aris Vasiliakos, who's the head of physics, car physics at Assetto Corsa Competizione. He does a lot of streaming, and he did a really good video on called How to Sim Race, and he basically outlined, was it 9 things? Yeah, 9 things you need to do in order to do in order to do sim racing properly. Everything from how to follow a car safely at distance, into braking zones, how to overtake
Eric
properly.
in front has lost 7.8 on last lap.
And if
Oriol Eckhart Calvet in car 44 ahead of you has lost 13.6 on the last lap.
everybody who drives anything, whether it's a Gran Turismo, Project Cars 2, or you know the real big ticket games like iRacing and Assetto Corsa Competizione. Spin at the bus stop. He's going backwards though. That's all right. He's well off the grass.
Yellow cleared.
Yeah, even if you're driving on the big ticket games, if you did these 9 things that he said in his video, you just improve so much. Thanks for coming in, Defragler. Lovely to see you. Yeah, have a good evening, dude. I mean, it's probably not evening for you, is it? But yeah, have you can have a smile drive as well. If driving makes you smile, you can do that. It's not a problem. We'll see you later, dude. Thanks for coming in. Tom's got this. What's I haven't got the thing up. Might have to put the put a screen display on so that the stream might go a bit stuttery for the moment. Hang on. Right, we're 31st. We're in no danger of becoming 30th at the moment. At the moment, we're 31st. We're not in any real danger of getting 30th. The guy in front of us is a whole lap ahead. Although having said that, they might have to do their driver swap. Who knows? But at the moment, we're just keep it nice and steady. Keep pumping in those laps. Absolutely solid 219s all across the board. And this will be good. You never know what's going to happen with this little train in front, though.
Martin, the car in front, is currently 33 seconds ahead of us.
Car in front in pits after 26 laps.
Oh, he's gone into the pits apparently. Was that Marcus you said?
No, Martin Cazella, or whatever it is, in 30th position currently, is in the pits.
Oh, right, okay. What is going to happen here? Is anyone going to get spun? Look at this. It's so tight. Everybody's through.
Clear. It's clear. Right
Tom having a really good sniff of Bobby McGregor's backside. Metaphorically speaking. See you later, Defragler.
Delta behind last lap. You made the gap bigger by 0.8.
They're going back to Steve Stiggs. He drove earlier, so I think they're a two-man team. I wonder how their fair share driving time is working out.
The two at the front of this pack battling for position.
Yeah, I mean, you've got, after this guy in front of you, you've got a group of three,
Left
then another
front.
one.
Still left.
Who knows
Right
what's
forward.
going to happen.
The three in front are currently fighting for 24th position.
Nice. No one's going to get out
All right.
alive.
Up to position 29.
That's just good. Yeah, it's a solid run, isn't it? I mean, you're right there, Baz. I mean, he picked up a little bit of damage in that spin at Lacombe, but it's not really
P30
affected the
currently.
car on anything except absolute top-end speed. And to be honest, the way that the setup is on this BMW, you don't even get into sixth gear. At the end of the Kemmel Straight and after Blanchemont before the bus stop, you don't even get into sixth gear. So the top end speed isn't really a massive problem. It's about being fast and planted through sector 2. Just a 1 hour minimum. That's really annoying, because that's... Oh, it's that 60%, 66%, 33%. If you've got, a 3 hour race and you're only driving 33%, it's a bit, for me. I'd have made that, at least...
Craig Brickwood ahead has lost 11.5 on last lap.
At least an hour and a quarter. Because a two-man team shouldn't
One
really have an
party tickets
advantage.
Interval ahead is 3 laps.
I mean, although, if you
One coming out of pits.
if you saw Casey Kerwin,
Car 793 ahead of you has a low I rating of 1.5k. Eyes
look
forward.
at the nuts on Tom. Casey Kerwin for the Daytona 24, he drove 11 hours of the 24, and they were all within their driver fair driving percentage, which is mad. And Casey did, in fact, Govend Keeney, I think Govend Keeney, he actually drove the first 10 hours for his team, just 10 hours straight. Absolutely phenomenal. But, oh goodness me, that Ferrari's about to kill someone. Car 24. But yeah, I think maybe the times could do a bit of a tweak. Hey Paul, how's it going, dude? Thanks for stopping by. I'll bring you up to speed if you... oh, he is really going to catch somebody, that Anthony Misson. So bring you up to speed if you haven't been watching for long. So we are in... The race has been going 2 hours, 22 minutes. We've got 37 minutes left. Tom is in the driving seat at the moment. He's our third driver. We started in 30, 33 or 34 out of 60 odd cars. And there was an enormous crash on the Kemmel Straight, which reduced everybody to a standstill while cars were reversing out of the way to let everybody past. We made up 14 places on the first lap, but on I think it was lap 5 or 6, a back marker trying to unlap himself as we were going into the bus stop chicane. He was really not playing the game. He got loose, he got his tyre on the grass and then turned into a missile, and as I was turning into the bus stop as Tom is now, this car came flying straight across and took me out on the front of the car. So like the race we had at Silverstone several weeks ago with Jason and Max, I had to go
Delta
into the
ahead
pits
last lap,
for
closer
9
by
minutes of
1.4.
repairs, and then after the 9 minutes of repairs I finished my stint. No further incident. Brett from the community, GTUK community, he went second, had a perfect stint, no problems at all. And now Tom, who's the quickest of the three of us, he's in the hot seat to bring it home. And again, it's all going really well. But unfortunately, we lost 9 minutes through a BMW of a backmarker turning into the General Lee from Dukes of Hazzard. But these things happen. They always tend to happen to me because the first stint driver is really the one who gets it in the neck, because that's when the cars are at their closest. He says, looking at all these cars on the screen, battling for position. God, he's braking early, that Beamer. Is that for
Right
that
side
Ferrari? Is just careful,
right
careful, 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 careful. Might be worth letting Robert slip past. And then he can take the brunt of whatever the hell happens with that yellow Ferrari in front of us.
Car left rear.
Lovely
It's
stuff.
clear.
Oh, and he nearly took out the Beamer. Yes. Well, obviously it's a long. He's gone. Oh no! Look at that. Well, well, well. You see?
Good job. Very, very good job taking avoiding action there.
So yeah,
That was like, this is what you could have won.
yeah. It's a little bit of patience. Some people, unbelievable. But there we go. We benefit. Nice little gap behind to a back marker. So no big deal. 11 seconds to our next car behind us, who's laps ahead of us. So keep the rate you're going. We won't see him basically. Yeah. So it's a 3-hour race. Not everybody's going to be here from the start. And that is one of the really nice things about
Gap in front
these
is
endurance races.
2 laps.
It's an evening event. You can just hop in and hop out whenever you want. You don't have to see the beginning. You can join after 2.5 hours.
Out of interest, how many laps ahead were they?
Oh, I'll let Brett answer that. I'll let Brett, the maths wizard, answer that. But it was so predictable though, wasn't it? Because they're just getting so
I
close.
think they were 4 laps ahead of us.
That's good. That was handy. This has been, apart from the crash, but first stint, you've always got that danger. Apart from the crash, this has been just so good. And at the start of the race as well, was a real curveball, because the track was not as good as it has been in qualifying. It was bloody awful in qualifying. But in all the practicing we've done this week, all the practice sessions, the track's been really good, really grippy. And then for the first 5 or 6 laps of this race, and in qualifying, it's been like an ice rink. And all the cars have just been caught out, left, right and centre. They've overshot turns. They've skidded straight off. So, yeah. Well, that's one of the things about racecraft, Baz, about that Aris video. It's just so good, because it says, know when to pick your battles. Decide what you want at the start, and that's what you're going to aim for. You don't always go hell for leather thinking, I've got to win the race, I've got to win the race. You've just got to take one car at a time. If you take one car at a time, then if you are really quick, you will win the race. But ultimately, you just need to see, really, when you're getting into new positions with new cars in front of you, you need to give it a good half a lap at least to see, are they braking early into corners? Are they taking really weird lines? Are they unnecessarily slowing themselves down? And then you can start to predict what they're going to do. See, Tom's really going to take this Ferrari, no problem at all, shortly, because he's all over the back of him. Hello, Puddy Cat. You back again, dude? You see, Jason has a big German Shepherd.
Laps left in this
she is big. Eva is a real unit. I tell you, her coat is so big and fluffy. It's like something that's just been pulled out of the tumble dryer. But I've got a Puddy Cat, and he just can't make his mind up whether he wants to come and see me and get a stroke, or go back into the lounge and get a stroke. What are you doing, dude? You going to come in? Yeah. I know you've got food in your bowl, so it's not
Car
that.
ahead of us has currently been in the pits for 2 laps and is now currently 2 laps ahead of us.
That's nice.
left front. Still
Tom
left.
is absolutely killing
Clear.
this. Absolutely killing this. Look at it go. I mean, yeah, Tommy's a good 500 iRating points ahead of Christian, who's just taken. So only to be expected, and he'll pull away now. 2:19.2 on the last lap. That's just superb, and he is quicker. According to my my head-to-head thing, you are quicker around the whole track than the car ahead and behind. There is a problem in front somewhere. Keep your eyes open. Oh, he's on the right, rejoining. Who's that? Jan Mantho. We've seen that Lamborghini before. Has he got damage? We'll soon find out when he gets on the next straight. But he's certainly very cautious now, look. I think Tom's going to take him. Tom just has no mercy at all. Tom is the executioner. Off he goes.
Car left front. Still left front.
He's got damage.
Still left front.
Yeah, he's there.
All good.
Yeah, he's easing up. That's good. Yeah, Tom is the executioner. He has absolutely no mercy at all. Ah! Good braking though. Goodness me.
Right front.
Is he going to go in the pits? He's gone in the pits.
Clear.
That's lovely. He's staying out, so obviously his damage is... Oh, that's Christian.
I think he ran out of fuel.
Duran at exit.
Things you hate to see. Another place in the pits we've just made up.
18.4.
Yep, relative will say up to 29th at the end of this lap.
Oh, that's awesome. Top 30. Ooh. This is going so well.
All right, Matt. P29 currently.
Baz, you haven't
Good
put
job so far. How's the car feeling?
Baz, you haven't put an application in
Yeah,
for
it feels fine. Like I say, a couple of
Game Tech
kilometres
team?
an hour down on the straights.
Pull your finger out, chop, chop.
Little crash, but
Cool. Oh, so how are we doing? Under half an hour to go. It's nearly finished. And then that's another 3-hour race in the books. There really is. I'll tell you what, you think that sitting in a racing seat for 3 hours would be uncomfortable. I mean, again, bear in mind I've got the Play Seat Challenge, which is basically a deck chair, as opposed to a very nice, form-fitting, snug racing seat like Jason's Sparco seat, which is... I mean, I've been very lucky. I mean, I don't really live that far away from Jason's, just about an hour or so to get there. So I've been very lucky to go and have a go on his rig. And his Sparco seat is just absolutely perfection. It really is so nice. Just hugs you in all the right places. It doesn't get uncomfortable. And you need it to as well. With this little motion platform, you really want a seat where you're snug and not being tossed about from side to side. You've been very ill. I've been very ill as well, Baz. Everybody's been very ill. But this is my recovery. This is my recovery. I had a blood clot on the lung. That's up there with, in terms of mortality rates, that's up there with heart attacks, strokes, brain aneurysms, and gunshot wounds. But it's my recovery. I'm sitting here
Yellow flag in 5
helping
seconds.
my brain to recover.
Improving. New personal best lap time, 2 minute 18.878.
I would say, John Vorter, get your application in as well, but John's not doing his GT racing yet and he's got the volume turned down. What we like on around us then? So we've got Christian behind, who's actually in front of us in the race. He's the... Wow. He's 4.2 seconds behind us, but we're fighting him for position. Really, he has to make no challenge at all, because if he does and he gets it wrong and comes off work, it's a real Schumacher-Villeneuve situation. Oh, man. Right, unless I'm mistaken, the car behind us, 4 seconds behind Christian, is actually a place ahead of us in the race. So he'd be mad to try and fight and get, or try and get past, because if he makes a mistake, then that could be his race over and we get the spot. And my screen has gone black. Don't say he's disconnected. Bear with. Oh no, he's all right. Whew, that was lucky. That was lucky.
Let's hope he doesn't try any heroics then.
The gap is growing. He's now down to 5 seconds. But yeah, it's a real Schumacher and Villeneuve situation. If he went for a move and got it wrong, then he'd be completely screwed and we'd benefit. But again, we've seen a lot of drivers in this race who haven't really thought of the bigger picture. He may not even be aware of it, to be honest.
Mic off.
This guy ahead's one of them.
Mic on.
Yeah, he really should let you pass because he's holding you up. Although, having said that, your last lap was 2:18.8, so very quick. I think if you can stick with him through Eau Rouge, you should be able to get him by the end of the Kemmel Straight. Right there, Tiggs, you actually going in or staying out? Oh God, what is he doing?
Yellow.
Yellow ahead. Car on the right slope.
Note, car 777 ahead of us has a low I rating of 1.4K.
Ooh, let's hope this guy in front doesn't ruin everything.
This guy's going to bin it before long.
He probably was going to bin it, if he doesn't before, he'd probably bin it at the bus stop, because his entry into the bus stop the last couple of laps has been bouncing off curbs.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
Mic off.
Interval in front is
Up to 28th
4.5.
position now.
car right front. Still right front. Still right. Still right rear. Still right rear. All good.
Yeah, all clear.
All right. Up to class position 28.
Good job.
Mic on.
Right, there we go. Family interrupting time, but that's all right. And Tom's got past Anthony. Good, because Anthony's, again, going to be one of these drivers. You see, this is... Oh, it's about the mindset of drivers when you get near the end of a race. when you've got a vehicle in front or behind who's lapped or is laps ahead of you. Even though they are ahead of us on the track, if they're not as fast, you should really just suck it up and let the other driver past. It's no skin off your nose if you let a driver who's behind you, miles behind you, 3 or 4 laps behind you in track position, just let him past. It saves you. He's had to fight, he's had to put excess wear on his tyres, it's probably given him a bit of stress.
Yellow flag in 7 seconds, 1 ahead.
Can't see it.
Careful.
So just let him go. It's much easier.
1 laps in
and if you're the driver who is laps down, if you are faster, don't be afraid of overtaking cars who are ahead of you.
2 minute 18.822.
Because it's a 3-hour race, and by the time you get to 2 hours 40, as we are now, the cars are just so far spread out across the circuit. It just has zero impact on your race. So, you know, at the start, everybody's fighting for position. You don't want to give the place up. You get to 2 hours 40 minutes. Just let them through. Get round them, let them through. It's much easier. This has been so good. Brett and Tom have just been absolute superstars on this. It is always, I mean, make no mistake about it, Tom is a very experienced iRacer. He's done quite a lot of races. Brett's been on just over a year. So it's not as if they've just walked in off the street and had a go and said, "Oh, this is nice." They're both used to the game. They both know how it handles. But your first endurance race, your first 3-hour race, when you're doing driver stints, don't worry about that. It's always a new challenge. It's totally unexpected. And so, yeah, Tom and Brett have just been so good. What this means, of course, is that if we have endurance races coming up that Jason's not going to be driving in or streaming, that I'm involved in, as long as we have enough notice for the guys, it won't be out of the ordinary to do another one of these, and I probably will just keep, I'll keep streaming them, even though my streams are very, very basic, but ultimately it's something interesting. If you like racing, there's something on to watch on a Saturday evening that isn't Anton Deck or some load of cobblers. 2:18. It's just his lap times are so good at the moment. Drop frames are now as low as they've been for the whole stream. So the stream started a bit choppy, but it seems to have settled down okay. That's no worries at all, John. I take it it's going to be ribs again. I know you're a ribitarian. That's all you eat, dude. But yeah, come back and watch after dinner. Mate, we've only got 15 minutes left of the race. So, I'll probably, if you don't come back, John, if you're on tomorrow, I'll probably catch you tomorrow on one of your streams, dude. Thanks for coming by, though. Really appreciate it. Yeah, who doesn't love watching a racing stream? I mean, even at the moment now, we've got a safety bubble of over 10 seconds. But we're at the end of a long race. The team's performed well. The car has been absolutely faultless again. And we're doing all right. Oh, there's my cat. Hello, cat. Give me a armful of wet nose. My cat doesn't sing like Eva does, so I can't, unfortunately, get the cat to do anything. He'll just stare at me and think I'm an idiot, which is kind of what he does most of the time anyway, but... Yeah, John's a top bloke. As I said earlier, if you go to John's channel, if you click on the dots by the side of John's comments, there's an option that says go to channel. Go to John's channel. He does YouTube streams of iRacing at the moment. He does a lot of oval stuff, IndyCar stuff. He's going to be doing GT soon. And he also is on Twitch, and it's all under the same banner of Auto Racing. And he's a laid-back guy. We love John. He's a laid-back, chilled, lovely American dude. But unfortunately, where he lives in Indiana. You know, there's no decent racetracks in Indiana. It's a shame, really. Oh, who's in front now? Jean-Paul Bursma. Now he's an orange Ferrari.
33 ahead of us has lost 14.2.
Their Ferrari's orange, isn't it? Yes. We saw John Paul earlier in my stint, in fact. Was the last time we came across him. I can't remember what he'd done. He might have just stacked it or gone off track somewhere.
Valentin Eschleiman in car 10 in front has lost 8.2 on last lap.
So it could have been Jean-Paul has made an issue for himself again, because his time on the relative is really dropping. It was 6 seconds, it's now down to 3.8. And we all know that Tom the Executioner does not mess about. He doesn't need a second invitation. Where's my cat? Has he gone again? Still got 6 incident points to get a drive through, so loads of wiggle room.
Local yellow in 5 seconds, 1 slow.
Can't see it. It's a bit. This reminds me a bit of the bug at Daytona in turn 7. Always shows you a yellow flag, because as you go around turn 7, at some point you just lose traction ever so slightly.
That
and the
lap
game
was a 2 minutes 18.9.
The game interprets it as a spin, so it puts a yellow flag up. So what happens is every driver approaching turn 7 gets a yellow flag. It's a bit silly. I thought they'd fix the bug, because they updated Daytona to give it new catch fencing and updated bus stop chicane, or as it's called now, the Le Mans chicane. But they've still got that bug, turn 7 bug. It's really annoying, because you can't see into the corner as well. So you get a yellow flag and you think, oh, is there a car? Isn't there a car? And there never is. What cars are you thinking of buying next then, Brett?
Don't know, to be honest.
I mean, the Ferrari's always a good bet. It's very stable. It's very fast, especially on the longer tracks. It's when you get the longer straights, things like Spa, not so much Silverstone, but like Le Mans, where you get the longer straights, their top speed is really good. And they're a fairly easy car to drive. So I'd probably say maybe Ferrari, maybe look at, or Lamborghini's always popular. Again, very low, very stable, sounds nice.
I was thinking about getting the Ferrari to take part in the Ferrari
Challenge.
488 challenge as well. So that's another good series to take part in.
You really do want to kill your safety rating and I rating, don't you?
Just helping the team.
Selfless. Absolutely selfless. That's what we love. $10 minutes to go. Can't believe we're just down to the final 10 minutes. 600 seconds. 5 laps, I think. Well, it's just 3 laps
Good
on the thing
job.
because we're missing a few laps,
Quicker
so we
lap
might be
time,
short actually.
2 minute
No, it won't be short.
18.787.
Because race clock won't have stopped. No, that's about right. Race clock 10 minutes. It's obviously going to be more because my display says 67 of 70.8 laps. I think that's going to stretch. Audi, yeah, the Audi at the moment, Baz, is very strong on most tracks. I tend to like driving the Audi over the Lamborghini. Even though essentially it's the same car, it's just that the Lamborghini is a little longer, so it has slightly different turning characteristics. But
All right, Matt. Up to class position 27 currently.
27, really?
We may possibly
Next
gain another
position may lose
position
us about
at the end of this
15
lap.
rating points.
Yeah. So and the setups that I use, VRS setups, the setups they're doing at the moment for the Audi are just so good. They really are astonishingly good. So yeah, at the moment I'd say that my favourite is the Audi to drive. Although there are some tracks that I will drive other cars. Road Atlanta, I will drive either the Ferrari or the Beamer because they are just so stable with quick left to right switching corners. I wonder what iRacing is going to be like when rain turns up. I wonder how they're going to implement it, because they can't put it in every race. Because I mean they're going to have to do. You're going to have a whole new tyre model, wet tyre model, dry tyre model. Even though they have got the guy who was responsible for R Factor 2's tyre model, and they did have rain, so that could be the final piece of the puzzle for that. But you can't have rain in every race. So, and when people are given the option
5/10
themselves,
up to your best lap.
they won't race with rain. This is again, I mentioned Aris earlier with his video about how to sim race. Everybody was saying, "Oh, we want rain," and so when they made Assetto Corsa Competizione, they said, "Here we go, changing weather conditions and rain." Everyone said, "Oh, fantastic!" And nobody drives in the rain. You go to the public lobbies, none of them are in the rain. When I used to do public lobbies in Assetto Corsa Competizione, I used to factor in that there'd be a 30% chance of rain in any race, and that rain would be like a 2 out
Far
of
left
10.
front.
So it
Still
wouldn't be
left.
really bad rain, but it
Still
would
left
be,
rear. Eyes forward.
you know, you'd have to drive accordingly. You'd still have spray and you'd still have a wet line, a dry line. And on those races,
Nice move.
if people were in the lobby at the start and it was raining, you'd get 2 or 3 who go, "Oh, I don't want to race in the rain," and they'd leave. And it's so pointless. Racing in the rain is really good fun. But the fact is that when people are given the choice, they don't want to race in rain. They want to race GT3s at Spa or Monza on an optimum road surface at 3 in the afternoon with hot sticky tyres. They don't want to do the difficult thing. So it's really interesting to see how they're going to incorporate rain. I think, if anything, you'll probably see rain the most in the official championship series with all the pro drivers, or maybe they'll have specific series where it's always raining, or where there will be weather changing during the race. So that'd be interesting to see. But we're not far away from having rain. Everybody says, "Oh, there's no rain in iRacing," yeah, but nobody ever drives in it, so nobody cares. There's rain in R Factor 2, nobody drives in it. Road Atlanta, yeah, Road Atlanta I like. It's all right. I think it's a bit short. It's what, 1 minute 20 lap time in a GT3. It's a bit short. Factor in that they hold the Petit Le Mans there, which, you know, it's a 24-hour race and it's all multi-class. And being American multi-class is about 15 classes. I just think it's a bit of an inappropriate track. Tom is absolutely scything through this field of drivers who are
Improving.
in the top 10. Look, it's,
New
it's
personal best
embarrassing.
lap time. 2 minute 18.757.
It's embarrassing. Tom's going to knock this Porsche out of the way by the time he gets to Lake Combe. Always had to lift a little bit there. Maybe he won't. We'll see. Here he
Left
goes. Oh, it's so easy.
Still left rear. All good.
But that was really good driving from Craig because, yep, he can see that Tom is fast. He's not racing him. Just let him pass. He's not compromising your race. If you do a tiny lift, your nearest competitors are nowhere. Although Jean-Paul could be fighting him 2 seconds back, but doesn't matter. There's no point fighting with somebody and then spinning out or something stupid. Endurance race, and Baz has agreed with this point in streams before. Endurance racing is a totally different mindset than normal sprint racing. You know, you have to look. Oh, look at the speed around here!
Left
Jesus, you really have to
clear.
think a couple of hours ahead with 2 other drivers, or how many other drivers you've got. Jean, give it up, dude. You've been absolutely murdered again by Thomas the Executioner.
All right. Up. Local yellow in 3 seconds. 1 there.
Don't move. Don't move. Good
All
lad.
clear.
Another one down. Oh, this is so good. There's 4 minutes left in the race. Oh, it's just so good.
About to take 26 as they're in the pits.
Tom is just like a one-man killing machine.
He's flying dice in this field.
I mean, on the stream, I've been calling him the Executioner, but he's actually more like Rambo. Yeah, exactly. Tactics and consistency. It's not
Nevsky
about
Chile
outright top
Northern
speed.
ahead of us has lost 22.1.
I mean, Tom's put in a 2:19 dead. His laps have all been 2:19s, 2:18s. Again, consistent
Well, I've got to
robotic
say,
lap
the
times.
setup is perfect.
It's
So,
just
thank you.
perfect. Well, no, you tweaked it, dude. It's as much yours as it is anybody else's. We might get white flag at the end of this lap. Oh, it's just been such a good race again. You know, we've been unlucky, like we were at Silverstone, with having to come into the pits for repairs with exactly the same problem. Front right reel relocated to somewhere else on the track, but you know, you just got to shrug these things off and get on with it. You can't sit there crying. The guy that crashed into us, he was already laps down following another crash, and he just called it a day.
Out of interest, what's the leader's pace?
I'll leave that again to Brett to look up.
Last lap he did a 2:18.992.
Yeah, we're catching. Tom's practically the fastest guy on the circuit at the moment. It's been so good. It really has been. I'm so proud of both Brett and Tom.
He's been consistently doing mid 219s, kind of down to 18s, and then back up to 20s.
How are we doing? Still got 12 according to my figures on who's watching. White flag, white flag. Brilliant. Superb stuff. Just got one more lap if you want to kill anybody else. You've got anybody in his sights you want to dispatch. Now's the time to do it. There's Barney waving his flag like he's
down from
battering
your best
someone to
lap.
death on the side of the track. So there we go. So, last
He should
lap.
move up to 25th as well, because there's another team that's in the pits that have
Awesome.
retired.
So good. This is so good. So on my videos, I always tend to, on the last lap, sort of recap how the whole thing's gone. So, we qualified midfield. We gained 14 places at least on the first lap, thanks to a pile up right here. You can see all the time marks. but then got taken out about 4 or 5 laps later by a backmarker who was really overreaching so far into what he was capable with his car. It was unbelievable. And then he quit. Thanks very much, dude, for nothing. So we had 9 minutes in the pits repairs, but the car was solid before. After the repairs were finished, the car was solid. We've come out. I finished off my stint. Brett's taken over. Had an absolutely stellar second stint. Stayed out of trouble all the way through. Made up a lot of places. Handed over to Tom. Tom is the quickest out of the three of us, and he's shown it. He has been round this track like there's some sort of shortcut that he knows and nobody else does. So we've got half a lap left. We came out, I think, high 30s after the damage, and we're now mid to low 20s. So, you know, if we can just get an endurance race where we don't get taken
Good
out
job,
in the
Matt.
first stint,
Up to P25 currently.
25. If we
Jason
can get
Burmeister ahead of you has lost 15.7 on
how
the
close he's
last
got
lap.
to Oriol in the whole lap. Look how much he's closed. Unbelievable. But if we can just get a race where we don't get taken out in the first stint and we don't have any repairs, we can really place, I believe, well inside the top 10. Because the car's pace, the
Rear
setup pace
position
is all good.
26.
And the guys are just excellent driving. So there we go. That is the last corner. He's even looking to take him. Oh, man. There's no respite with Tom. Look, he's like a little Rottweiler puppy. Awesome. So there it is. Race over. How brilliant was that? So, there we go. Race over. What are your thoughts, guys?
Absolutely brilliant.
Great fun. And if it wasn't for that idiot at the start,
Moving up, Matt.
I think we had
Position
pace for top 10
25
today.
currently.
Yeah, absolutely. If we can
Next
get
position
through
will
a
lose
race
us
without
about
being
8
taken out in the
points.
first stint with 9 minutes of repairs, yeah, top 10 easily doable. Because the car's been great, the pace has been superb. Tom's been just embarrassing, really, for the rest of the field. He's been the quickest guy on the track in the third stint by a mile. So, superb. And everybody who's been in the stream, we've had 12 viewers in the stream pretty much all night, same people, and they've loved it. So I can't say it enough. You guys have been absolutely superb. Yeah, it was a superb race, Joanne.
Well,
Absolutely superb.
thank you for organising it, mate, and let me know when the next one is.
Yeah, well, I think we have some discussions about how we're going to move forward with whether we put out one team or more than one team under the Game Tech banner. But if we have races coming up, I mean, the next 2 weeks definitely won't be doing Detroit and Bathurst. But after that, we've got Watkins Glen. Might fancy doing that if Jason's unavailable because he's got birthday stuff coming up. Because his birthday is 50 in February, so he's written basically the whole month off. So if he's not free for that, we'll have a look at Watkins in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, let us know whenever anything pops up. Just ping us a couple messages, and then we'll be more than happy to
Yep.
take part.
No problem at all, Jerome. I mean, I wasn't really thinking about was I stream or not. I mean, I sort of set it up on my channel, so a few people had already sort of liked it. I thought, people are expecting it. I should really stream it. And the start of the
Good
stream
job,
was a bit
Matt.
awkward because it was a
P24.
bit stuttery. I've probably got my settings all wrong. I need to find really good settings for this. Yeah, I think people would be happy both driving for Game Tech teams, even if they're in different sessions. I think they'll be fine with that. If they're fine with it and they communicate it
20.
to Jason, then yeah, I think we'll do it.
Some race results
But,
stats for you.
Brilliant.
You moved 4
So, yeah.
ratings forward to
So we're done.
1,533.
Oh, my
Safety
cat's back.
rating decreased 0.23.
Yeah, whatever.
Your
Safety
new
rating.
lower safety rating is
We
2.38.
managed to finish 24th
Do
in
you
the
want
end.
to see the results
It's a
page?
bit interesting.
No, I don't want to see the results
Congratulations,
page.
Matt. Short debrief. We finished in P25. We come
I was
home with
surprised with quite a few
62.0
people
liters
got,
in the fuel tank.
DQ'd or penalties at the end.
Cool.
That was absolutely superb, guys. Thanks very much. Yeah, we'll look ahead. I say, if I imagine our next race we can do will be Watkins Glen in 3 weeks. Let us know what you think. And thanks very much. Have a good evening. That was a job well done.
Yeah, you too. Cheers, Matt. Thanks for getting that all sorted out.
Yeah, no worries, dude. Take care. So yeah, there we go then. Lovely stuff.
Have a good one, guys.
See you
Tom,
later, Tom.
Rambo, absolute Rambo. Tom, bless him. And Brett, so good. So yeah, there we go. That's it. We're done. Thanks for watching. There's been 12 pretty much constantly all the way through. Hopefully it's been a good alternative to Ant Deck. And if we don't get an official GTUK race with a couple of teams out in a few weeks, then I think that 3 weeks from today we'll do Watkins Glen fast repair racing. And if you want to, if you want iRacing and you want to maybe come in the team as well, then just send me a message on in the comments on the video, or at Foxy McFox on Twitter, or if you're in iRacing, just look me up, Matt Fox, MATFOX, and yeah, we'll get something done. So thanks for watching then. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have, and I will see you for